looking at says it's got the thumbnail on it, so
Oh, it's going to be one of those, isn't it?
it's going to be one of
I've just
those
started
things.
the recording on my end, by the way, which means that people watching on the archive on my channel uh, didn't get to hear us asking a person to dox themselves. But
It's going to be one of those streams.
it is going to be one of those streams. We're only just getting
Hang on,
started.
I've got the thing open now, and people are joining us and saying things. Oh, someone said 123 Fake Street.
Good. That I wonder if there. That's become such a meme that if I were a town planner, I would.
There probably is.
And people are joining.
There probably is somewhere called 123 Fake Street that people have named after 123 Fake Street from
I'm
what
going
you
to
call it.
Google it. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to search it on maps to see if it comes up. Because most of our streams, we actually have something serious to talk about, right? Whereas this one gets to be basically all just classic antics.
Yeah, this is basically all antics. Hang on, I'm just doing a tweet. With at JXC.
Oh, that's not too bad, actually. If you search 123 Fake Street on Google Maps, someone's registered it as like the name of their business so that it acts as a free advertisement for them.
That is pretty clever. The evil Dalek says, "Stu noticed me. Hello, evil Dalek. I've noticed you."
What would it... That's just sort of like saying, the, the, the wet shower. I've never taken
What?
an improv class. I'm not very fast. I'll drink coffee. That'll speed me up.
Okay, that's good because this is going to be a very exciting stream.
Very fast-paced
Because
stream.
yeah, very fast-paced stream. So okay, I will explain the thinking behind this. So basically, my thinking was that since we basically know nothing about this Doctor Who special that's airing at some point
I
next
mean,
month, we
we
don't even know
know
what day it's
we
airing.
do know we do know a lot though. I mean, we know like a lot
Well,
of the cast and returning characters.
we know quite a bit. We don't know much about the plot or anything that's going to happen in it.
The thing is, like,
We don't even, but we don't
what?
know what day it is. So my idea was we're going to write it.
Yeah, we're gonna write it. We're going to write the canon version, whatever they air on the BBC. That's fan fiction because we're doing it. This will be the first version of it available, is what we tell you, meaning it's the canon
Yes.
one.
Yeah. So if you're looking at my screen right now, I've got my Celtex account open. I have got a document called "The Power of the Doctor" by Jay and Stu, and we're going to sit here and we're going to write it together.
Yes, and if you're looking at my screen right now, you don't get to see that. You should have watched it on Stu's
No, so,
channel.
no. So go over to my channel, Stubag Full. Stubag subscribe to Stubag Full as the
Yes, it is. It's literally the same content but with more information.
Yes, so you'll actually know what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. Right. So my video is for people who are lazy.
Yeah, yes. Mine has the intellectual capacity to it. Okay. So, my idea when we go into this is okay. We're thinking like Chris Chibnall. We've got to write this like Chris Chibnall, so we got to go in with absolutely no plan.
I wonder if any of this is going to be clipped and put on Twitter.
Probably. Okay, so starting out with what do we know about the Centenary special so far?
It's got
We
Ace
know
and
what it's
Tegan in
called.
it. Well, do we know it's got Ace and Tegan in it, or do we know it's got Sophie Aldred and Janet Fielding in it?
That is a point. Well,
Have they confirmed that they're actually playing Ace and Tegan, or could we decide that actually they're playing two entirely unrelated characters?
no, because she does say in that I haven't seen the Doctor for over 4 decades.
Maybe she's playing her
And
character from Shakedown Return of the Sontarans.
I have not watched that.
She's in it, and she's not playing Ace.
What's she playing?
I don't remember. Hang on, let me
It's
find it.
definitely.
I wonder if it's available on Google or if it's too obscure, that information. Alright.
So master.
Ooh,
So
Google
it's got the
describes it
master
as
in
a
it.
film.
Well, it's videographic content.
Sophie Aldred is playing a character called Mari, and that's all the information that I have.
Mari. What sort of sadistic parent calls their child Mari?
Any Mari's watching, I'm sorry for Stuart. He doesn't represent my feelings or the feelings of the channel.
Okay, just I will keep those opinions to myself. Okay, so it's got Ace and Tegan in it. I'm just calling it. They are Ace and Tegan because fan service. It's got the Master in it. It's got the Daleks in it. It's
It
got the Lone
has.
Cyberman in it somehow.
Yeah, so should we address how he's back, I guess? The
Kind
question
of, yeah.
is he like the lone Cyberman just from like an earlier point in the timeline before he was killed? Or did he just live? Did he
I think
survive the
they all
tissue
just lived.
compression? Hmm?
I think they all just lived. They're just going to show up again, and there's going to be no explanation.
Are we assuming, by the way, for this, that one promo shot where the Master is holding a little person in a yellow jacket, are we assuming that that's Yaz? And that he's tissue compressing Yaz at some point in the story?
Probably. Hang on a sec. I'm going to Google Power of the Doctor promo images.
Because, I
Just so we
mean,
get a little bit of inspiration. As I said, we're going into this with no plan, but we need a little bit of inspiration. And however much of this we get right, we get points.
I genuinely
Like
suspect. I genuinely suspect.
when you watch the episodes, and you see something that came up in this, we get points.
So, my genuine prediction, but we can write this into our version as well if we want, even though it is a genuine prediction, is that Yaz will get tissue shrunk relatively early in the story, and then a shard will come back, demonstrating that it's possible to reverse a tissue compression because he's still alive after it happened to him.
Okay, that works. I'm looking for these promo pics that have apparently come out and finding it hard to find them.
We've got to have a scene where Ace beats up a Dalek with a baseball bat because we know that
Oh yes,
happens.
definitely. Oh yeah, because she's in it. So
We've got to
I
include
remember
Kate Stewart and Unit.
there was one picture of the Master in a church.
What? Oh yeah, we know that
That I'd
he
see.
goes into. We go know that he disguises himself as Rasputin for at one point in the episode as well.
He looks.
What the
Wait, is
fuck
he
is the
Rasputin? Is he
story?
supposed? Is
I
he
th-
supposed to actually be Rasputin?
I don't know. What I mean, I assume that he's going in disguise as Rasputin. I don't imagine that we're getting the twist that Rasputin was the master all along.
Yeah, it's this one.
Maybe.
If you're looking on my screen, it was this one that I'm looking at here of the Master in a church. So there's got to be a bit with the Master in a church,
Right. We can What's he wearing?
a sort of suit thing.
I see. We need Cybermen. We need a bit where the Doctor is wearing an orange spacesuit, and Dan also wears an orange spacesuit. And someone wearing the orange spacesuit needs to get either shot in the face, or just the helmet needs to get shot because we see Dan holding the helmet with a bullet hole in the visor, or some kind of hole. I assume a bullet hole. So
Okay, so someone's got to get shot in the orange spacesuit.
yeah. Can that be
Okay,
how we can
shot.
that be how we take out Jodie? Because I don't see how else we're getting that into the story. Did you get?
Okay, so yeah, Jodie's going to get shot in the orange spacesuit.
Do we really think that Chris is going to take out Jodie by having her be shot in the face? Because honestly, that's a ballsy move.
Well, she did throw the Master to the Nazis. Chris has some teeth when he wants to. That's the thing.
I mean, I didn't. The thing is, I don't think that was supposed to be teeth. I don't think that bit was intentionally edgy.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't. It's always an accident with Chris. Let's get started on this. So the opening scene
Right. Well,
is going
I
to
do think
be
that
a
I do
complete.
think that because we've got so much to include, we do need to get our head round it first, so that we don't forget anything. So we do need because we know
It's
that this
Chris. We're meant to be thinking like Chris,
we
Jay.
need, but we
No planning.
but we need to know everything that needs to be in here. Like we need the Cybermasters in here as well. They survived.
Well, the Cyber Masters, they
All
need
right.
to be in it. Yes.
Quickly, Stuart, name a random country or location somewhere not in England or the UK.
Uh, Micronesia.
All right, that's where we open.
Right. Okay. Can you see this on the screen, chat? Yeah, everyone can see it on the screen. Okay, so scene heading, caption, Micronesia. Micronesia. What year is it?
1426.
1426.
And I
Right.
don't think we're starting on the Doctor. I think we start on the Master
A complete.
escaping. I
Are you
think.
sure we start on the master? We've got to start with a completely random character from a complete who's got basically nothing to do with anything.
Okay, wait, we have a 2 minute scene of someone called Gerald going to work. Why are they called Gerald in Micronesia in 1426?
Because
You know what? The name isn't spoken in the story, but that's what the actor is credited as.
all right, okay, so it
Oh fuck,
starts out in a
Vinder
bed.
and like Carvanista are in this as well, aren't they?
Wait, oh, Bell and Vinder, yeah, Bell and Vinder. Yeah, it's got to turn out that the timeless child is that their child is the timeless child, and the timeless child is the Doctor.
I think that we shouldn't make that explicit, but we should just heavily imply it. I
Yes,
think
the
that they
Doctor.
should. I think the story should end with them like going through, with them saying like we're going through a portal, a purple portal to have our baby, um, in another universe.
Okay,
Hope nothing bad happens there that will force us to abandon them.
we are going going through a portal.
But this
Hope
this has to
nothing
happen at the end.
bad happens. Right. Yeah, that has to happen. That has to happen at the end. Okay, so let's do this scene. It's going to start out with a scene of Gerald going to work.
Yeah. What is Gerald's job? What is the kind of job that someone would do in Micronesia in 1426?
Oh
Don't
no,
Google
no,
it, but
no.
like just let's have a good guess. You
Yeah,
found the
read the
historicals
chat
tend
and
to
see
be
if
relatively. Are they relatively accurate?
no, they're not accurate at all.
Oh, all right then. Yeah. What's
According to things that I've read about Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah, because neither of us are particularly deep into history. I think
This
I'm
is
not.
this is why we've set this in Micronesia in 1426.
Yeah. So well, so
Did
what? So
Micronesia did Micronesia exist in 1426?
I don't know.
It's
I'm
quite
gonna be
possible
honest
that
with
it
you,
doesn't.
Stuart. I don't actually know where Micronesia is.
I'm gonna type in Micronesia right now. Micronesia. Micronesia is a small sub-region of Oceania consisting of about 2,000 small islands. Yes, but when was it founded?
Well, I mean, the islands would always have been there. So even if it wasn't there, and that means that the subtitle is a bit silly, people will know what it means.
Well, it says prehistory here. Okay, fuck it. It's right.
Are there any Micronesians in the chat that can give us a hand?
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. What I'm gonna do is okay. He's a man who works at an office. He just happens to be in Micronesia,
I'm gonna
and it
be
just happens to
honest.
be.
I
And the office.
prefer I prefer regular sized Nesia.
I think I've got an idea. It's a really shit one,
Mm,
and that's what it would be. Okay. So my idea is that Earth and Gallifrey are the same place.
right. But Gallifrey is
This
like
episode.
Earth in like 3,000 years or
No, no,
something.
no. No. Basically, what happened is Gallifrey didn't get destroyed at the end of the. Was Gallifrey supposed to have gotten destroyed at the end of the Timeless Children? I never remember these things.
No, it was sort of. I mean, the Master decimated everything on it, but it itself is still there.
Okay, so millions of years later, life started appearing on Gallifrey again, and the big twist is going to be it turns out that Earth and Gallifrey are the same planet,
Right.
and that humans are descended from Gallifreyans.
Humans are descended from Gallifreyans. We're not doing it the other way.
Yeah. No, we're not doing. We're not doing it. No, we're not doing it the other way.
I could see them
It's going to
doing
be.
it the other way, but I can't see them doing it that way.
Micronesia was first called Micronesia in 1831. Someone
All
said
right,
in
so
the
we're off
chat.
to a good start. Okay, so
You know
um,
what? I'm just going to set it in 2010.
no,
Are you really set on 1492?
I thought it was 1426.
Okay, 1426 it is then. Right, okay. So Gerald wakes up.
Um,
It is early in the morning.
I think Gerald is a fisherman.
Morning. He looks across at his wife who is still asleep. He sighs lovingly. And that shows that he loves her.
Yes, and then he says, "I love you, my wife."
Gerald. Right, okay. Then he gets out of bed.
Right.
Gerald gets out of bed.
We see, in montage form, he gets dressed, he gets his fishing equipment, and he goes down to the river to start fishing.
He gets dressed.
Someone in chat just
Grabs
said,
his...
"I love you, my wife, and my as yet unborn child."
Oh, right, okay, okay. Then he hang on a sec. Right, I love you, my wife. Looks down to her belly, which is which is big. He puts a hand to it.
So
To Gerald and you, my unborn
I
child.
think I know what has to happen next.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hang on. Let me just catch up. Grabs his fishing equipment. Right. Transition. Cut to EXT lake. Gerald walks out to the lake.
So he's fishing. He casts his rod into the lake, or like we see him there with his rod cast into the lake, and suddenly he feels a snag, and he goes, "Oh, this is a big fish. You're a big little fishy, aren't you?" And then he pulls on it really hard, tries to reel it in, and then as what he's caught emerges from the water, you realise it's the master.
What the fuck? So the master just comes out of the lake.
I think the master should come out of the lake. I think that I mean if I want to write something that I think they might actually write, I think he might like fish out a cyber head from the lake and be like, "What the hell is this?"
Let's take this sort of semi seriously.
All
I
right.
think I think you're right. I think he fishes out a cyberhead.
Yeah, and then the master emerges from the water because this is where he's landed with his time ring that took him away from Gallifrey.
Yep. Right.
And then obviously
Ooh,
he
we've got-
kills Gerald.
Yes. Hang on a minute. He reels in the fish. It starts getting away from him. Oh. He fights against it. Eventually, he reels out a cyber head.
And it needs to be one of the cyber master heads. Does it start speaking?
Yes. Hang on, and it starts trying to attack him.
How?
Huh? What is this?
No, we need a really good line for this. We need him to say something like, "This isn't like any fish I've ever caught." It's more like a
It has a
head.
weird head thing.
This reminds me of how much I love my wife.
This isn't like any fish I've ever caught. Hang on. The mouth of the head lights up. Gerald.
I think
What?
this is where we need to get the exposition in, right? It needs to be like, where are we? Where am I? I was on Gallifrey about to use a time ring.
You speak? Where am I? I was on Gallifrey. Gerald. What's Gallifrey? Cyberhead. I was about to use a time ring. I don't understand what you mean.
That's definitely what he needs to say. I don't understand what you mean to the head that he's fished out of the lake. That's actually perfect. That's actually something I could see them writing. Man fishes a head out of a lake. It says something and he just goes, "I don't know what you mean." That's actually on the money.
Oh, well, we're into it now. We're thinking like Chibnall. Right, so he's fished the cyberhead out that like says, I don't understand what you mean.
Why the Cyberman then needs to say something to segue into there being like more of them for the reveal that then goes into like the title sequence, right? So it needs to say,
Yeah.
like, where are the others? Where is the master? And like Gerald says, like, there are others, and then like Cybermasters start marching out of the lake, and the master comes out with them and kills Gerald, who
Yes, yeah, right.
yeah, who dies.
I don't understand what you mean. Where are the others? There are others?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, right, okay, so Gerald looks out to the lake. He sees more floating cyberheads.
I think which I was picturing like fully formed, or at least like some damaged Cybermasters coming out of the lake, or
Yeah, that's what I'm leading to. He sees more floating cyberheads, and then he says, "Gasp! There are more of you." Hang on, gasp. The heads rise and reveal the heads rise and reveal they are fully bodied cybermasters.
we're already paying homage to a classic Doctor Who scene where the Dalek rises out of the Thames because it was doing something in there.
At the back of the fleet of cyber masters, the master rises out of the water with long, drippy hair.
Well, his hair can't be long yet because he's just got out off of Gallifrey.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true. The master rises out of the water. He smiles evilly.
He does. He has
And
to
then
do
he's
the
got
laugh as well.
uh, and laughs. He's got to say something that really, really stupid that he would not say to a random person that he's just met.
Um. Hmm. I think we need to do. What should we do it along the same lines as the one in the Timeless Child, where Or sorry, the end of Ascension of the Cybermen, where he basically just delivers the cliffhanger stinger dialogue, where he's like, he
Yeah,
goes, "Wow, well, Doctor, everything is about to change." Should we do something like that?
yeah, sort of. Guess what, Earth? I'm back.
Yes, that's perfect.
Guess what, Earth? I'm back. Um, the Cybermasters surround Gerald and electrocute him.
Could he say, "I'm
He's
back and I'm here to party"?
yes, yeah, and I'm here to party. Okay, the Cybermasters surround Gerald and electrocute him. He screams. Transition to title sequence.
Yeah. Should we use the wrong title sequence or the right title sequence?
Um, well, it's gonna be a special cinematic thing because this is going to be in the cinemas apparently. So it's
Oh.
got to be like a big
Oh,
cinematic
maybe there
thing.
won't be a normal title sequence then.
Yeah, normal.
Maybe it'll be like in Day of the Doctor where it has some soundtrack and just like the credits appear on screen. Uh,
Yeah, probably. I've just put in Tardis there because I assume that the next scene that we cut to will be in the Tardis.
I think you're right. Should we have them doing like something sort of fun and quirky, just to establish who they are as and remind us of all the classic japes they get up to.
No, that's too charactered.
Well, like Dan walking in, eating like a marshmallow and going, "I can't believe there's a planet full of marshmallows."
Because what I was going to suggest is it opens on just after the Doctor and Yaz have made love.
Uh, I don't think that they're gonna let that happen. I think that I genuinely picture this. I genuinely think there is a possibility that Yaz and the Doctor are gonna be about to kiss, and then Yaz is killed.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right. I'm just checking back with the chat. Someone has just put the dialogue. I love you, my Yaz.
That that's that could be in there. I don't know that they do. This is the kind of thing, like I'm thinking like Orphan 55. Is it Orphan 55? I think it is Orphan 55, where we open on the TARDIS crew just doing something wacky and unrelated, where they're like cleaning up a tentacle from the floor of the TARDIS, and the Doctor says, "Sorry, gang, I didn't know it was the species mating season." Um, that's actually the dialogue. I think. Hang on, let me look it up. It's like I do feel that like something wacky is how they're most likely to introduce the us back to the TARDIS crew.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're probably right.
What can they do that's wacky? What's the right tone for wackiness? It needs to be something that like shows they're going on adventures to alien planets or to
Surfing,
history, I guess. But
surfing.
but I thought it was gonna be. Are they surfing in the TARDIS? I thought it was gonna be in the TARDIS.
All right, just like one scene outside of them surfing.
Do we have the budget for
The
that?
sea. They could do it on a soundstage.
What if they run back? What if we see them running into the TARDIS with their surfboards? Like that was great.
How? Oh yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. Actually, hang on. The TARDIS, and then suddenly the tone shifts. Okay, Dan, Yaz, and the Doctor run back into the TARDIS, holding surfboards. Yaz and Dan are laughing.
Yeah, and yeah, Dan is sharing like
And
some
because
anecdote. Like Dan is sharing some anecdote with Yaz about like, wow, I can't believe you surfed so hard.
asked away from those talking manta
Oh yeah,
rays.
like I can't believe you beat that alien in the surfing tournament or something along those lines. Not actually, I do think that's actually too clunky in its phrasing. I don't think it would be that clunky.
What? Wow! I can't believe you surfed so fast away from those talking manta rays. I think that's exactly clunky enough.
Actually, no, I think that he might say that.
Something like that. I know. I thought I was going to. Lose the race.
I think she'd say something more sort of confident than that. I think she'd say,
Oh
like,
yeah, true.
gotta see it to believe it, Billy boy. That's not what she's gonna say.
I just, I, I just. This is the problem with Yaz. I wrote her name there, and I just realised I don't know what this character would say.
I think it would be something confident. Like confidence has become particularly within just like Flux and the end of series 12. She's suddenly just been like quite confident and like cocky. Um, not cocky. That's the wrong. But like very sure of
Yeah,
herself.
gotta see it to believe it.
I think she would. I think she
Uh,
might say "got to see it to believe it."
okay. The doctor walks back over to the console, not looking at them, both avoiding Yaz's eye. Yeah, because this is when the tone
I'm
shifts.
not.
And the doctor.
Are we gonna put in some Phasmin stuff first? Are we gonna like have Dan mention? Yeah, and it was a good date for you two or something. Not sure
Yeah, I
why I
think
came
so.
along.
It was good to see you two.
It was
Does he
good to
call
see
women
you two
bird
bonding. I think he might say
bonding? Yeah,
like gals.
yeah, gals. That's what he'd say. You two gal. It was good to see you two gals bonding.
Yeah, that's on the money.
Yeah.
Oh, someone in chat
But,
suggested he should say that he felt a bit of a third wheel, and I think that's also definitely on the money.
yeah, yeah. I felt like a bit of a third wheel. Hang on. The doctor goes and puts her surfboard away. Um, Yaz looks confused. Is something wrong?
Oh, I'm thinking like how do we just like now suddenly thrust them into the current story? Like, because that's what we need to do, right? We need to. Should she get like a call from Kate Stewart or something, or like a message from the Master materializes in the TARDIS, like the
Oh,
hologram.
we've also got to get the pocket watch in there.
Do we? Is that pictured in the promotional material? Because I kind of think they might just not do anything else with the pocket watch.
Really?
It's possible.
Okay.
Or
Okay, that's true.
maybe
I mean,
maybe the
I think they're going to open the pocket watch, and that's going to transition us into some whole sequence where they go into some Matrix projections, and there's going to be old companions there.
yeah, but then that sort of negates the purpose of there being old companions just like in the present day, sort of, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, that's true. But just Fraser Hines is almost okay. Fraser Hines is almost certainly going to be in the Power of the Doctor, and Jamie doesn't remember the Doctor.
Right. Well, I mean, if
That's but that,
he could if we accept season 6B. He would.
yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
I'm imagining that conversation word for word in the episode. Jamie, but you don't remember me? Yes, I do, Doctor. Don't you remember season 6B?
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Okay, so what do we do? What do we do here? Yaz, is something wrong? And then the Doctor's got to say something like, "Hang
I
on, the
feel a
Doctor.
great foreboding.
I feel a great foreboding."
I don't think that's what she would say. I feel
No, that's true.
she would say it more sort of.
No,
Hmm.
she's got to be because she's socially awkward, so she'll like smile and say, "No, nothing."
Yeah, that is what she'll do.
The
Yes.
Doctor does a fake smile. The doctor. No, nothing. No.
And then
Everything's
Yaz will be
great.
like, Doctor, I know when you're lying to me.
So I know when you're lying.
I could actually see this interaction happening word for word as it is. Like,
Does the doctor break here, or does he snap and say,
I think
yeah, and something
maybe
like
this is the point where we demonstrate the trust that she now has in Yaz, where she goes, "You're right, Yaz. Sorry, I shouldn't lie to you. We are close." I don't know, something that along those lines. Or Yaz should say it. Yaz should be saying, you know, I thought we were done with all these secrets.
hang on, yeah, I'm going to make the doctor defensive. Hang on. Well, sometimes there's a reason.
That's good.
Yes, I thought we were done with all these secrets. Hang on. Yaz attempts to approach the doctor.
I'm thinking about just what if the potential of creating this in this the style of the way of the parody that I made.
Hang on, Yaz. Um, I thought we were getting better. Is that what you? Hmm.
I don't think I thought we were getting better. I thought you'd
Closer.
I thought you'd I thought I thought
I
you'd
thought you
agreed to
trusted me.
trust me.
Yeah.
And then we need to have the recency in there. It's like I thought you were getting to trust me now or something, not that because that implies that there was no trust there before, but something along those lines.
I thought you were getting to trust.
How about the TARDIS explodes and everyone dies?
No, because. I mean, there's got to be some drama. Um,
Yaz is gonna point a gun at someone in the TARDIS. I remember that. What if we do that? That's just a bait. I don't want to do that now because we've already written our shenanigans in the TARDIS. But what if that was just a bait and switch? That she's like, that we see her doing that, and then she's like playing an arcade game at the other side, and it's the controller for the arcade game, and she's like shooting Terminators in the TARDIS for the cold open. Right. So what have we got? What have we got right now?
well, right now, we've tonal shifted to Yaz confronting the doctor because the doctor's got a secret.
Yeah.
I think the doctor should bring out the pocket watch and start saying, "It's this. I don't know who I am."
Uh, is that why she's upset? Is that something we can? I mean, I'm happy for that to be it. Actually. Oh no, I don't. I'm not sure they'll revisit it. That will they do that again?
No, I think they will because it's the only idea they've got. Unless, why else is the doctor upset? What's happened
Because
recently?
at the end of I think that she like already knows about the master being back, and we're opening on her like she's heard the news like recently. She's somehow found it out, or like she's seen something where they were to persuade her to believe that the master is back.
Hmm. Because if this was classic Who, she would just get a signal on the TARDIS.
No, I mean they're not
She-
above doing signals on the. Well, I mean I say above like it's a bad thing to do. They've done signals in the TARDIS in the Jodie era.
Shall we do that? Shall we just do? I got a signal. Fine, I got a signal yesterday.
I don't think she'd say fine. I think she'd say it broodingly. I think she'd do a pause and then look up. I got a signal
Okay,
yesterday.
hang on. The doctor pauses broodingly. She then looks up at Yaz. Okay, the doctor. I got a signal yesterday.
Well, I'm not sure. I think she'd open with like. Should we do? Should we introduce her to like I don't know.
It's hard, this, isn't it? You see why Chris doesn't spend too much time on his scripts.
Well,
Allegedly.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm
In
wondering
my own
what piece
mind.
of the story we bring in first. It has to be something that she's unhappy about because we're now committed to that because we've written it.
We are committed to that.
What if it's? So what if? I don't think. I feel like it's almost sort of. I don't know. Maybe this episode does have to move at a mile a minute, though. That's the thing. It feels like we've
It
just
does have to
shown
because
the
there's
master
thousands
coming
of
back.
things in it.
We've just shown the master
This is
coming
why I'm.
back. So I feel like we're first going to be introduced to something that's not that because that will be they're putting a pin in the master being back for later. And first we deal with something else that is the immediate thing.
Maybe it's a signal from Gallifrey.
But everyone on Gallifrey is dead.
Maybe that's the point. There's a signal from Gallifrey, but I thought they all died. No, she doesn't know that that any of the Time Lords survived, but she got a Time Lord signal from Earth,
Right.
and she thinks that it's the Master.
We could do that. I'm trying to think.
Fuck it,
Because we know the Daleks are in this. That's the thing.
They just show up for no reason.
I actually kind of think that they might be, and this is probably the easiest way to do it as well. I think it might be just like Ace telling the Doctor what she's been up to, and then there's a flashback that shows her fighting a Dalek, and then she's like, "Yeah, I've been doing that."
That's it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Doctor opens up the console and shows a scan of Earth. There is one blinking dot.
What if she's just like thinking about the Master being back? What if she's just like, you know,
I think this is something that she's been hiding because you know what this Doctor's like. She's all like broody.
Yeah, let's commit to it. Yeah, let's commit to. I'm happy. I'm fine with it now. I've decided that I'm
Okay,
happy
good.
to
There is
accept
one
that
blinking dot on the.
she's learning the Master, or she's known for a while that the Master is actually hunky dory.
That's a Time Lord signature on Earth. Yaz, but I thought the Time Lords all died.
What if like, Yaz is like, that's good, isn't it? One of your people is alive.
Oh. Oh, that's good, isn't it? One of your people survived. Dan, what's a Time Lord?
Are we gonna do that now?
No, the Doctor and Yaz start. No, the Doctor and Yaz start explaining things at really like super speed, but Dan keeps on asking questions in the background.
Right.
It depends which one survived.
Which is verbatim exactly what happens in Utopia. That's the dialogue. That's the Chinese Whispers version of the Utopia dialogue.
And that's what we've been establishing has been happening. That's what Spyfall was. It was a combination of different things. So it depends which one survived. The Rani. Who are other bad Time Lords?
The monk.
The monk, Barusa.
Do we think we're getting
She's got to
Barusa
name all the bad.
references? Are we doing that?
They reference the Eternals. Come on.
That's true, they did. Should we throw one in there? Because
The
like, they
Rani has
call
also got
they
the
call the Silurians aliens. So should we throw one in who's like sort of not meant to be a Time Lord, but some people think might be?
Okay,
Like,
which one of the main one?
I can't. The Dreamlord.
Oh yeah, the Dreamlord. Glibby Globby.
The Corsair. The Corsair. I feel like we can get a Corsair reference in.
Oh, okay, okay. The Corsair.
There were a lot of bad Time Lords, Yaz. And on Earth, that's... And if they're on Earth, that's bad news. Or I guess it would be if any one of them is on Earth.
Oh yeah, if any one of them is on Earth, that's bad news. Should we stop them then?
I don't think she'd say that.
She's just a blank cipher, isn't she?
Yeah, but that I don't think that's... I don't think that we're to the point of... I think that we're to the point of... like, let's go and find out who it is, rather than let's give them a good spanking.
Right, okay, what should Yaz say now then?
Well, I'm not like something like... I think this is Dan's line. I think this is like... I think Dan is there going... Doctor, if you want to go and find out who... If you want to go and find out if... Whatever, then I'm with you all the way. Alright guys, I guess if you guys both want to go and investigate this time, I think he'd say the wrong name of Time Lords for a joke. Like Time Baron or something. And then the Doctor and Yaz both say Time Lord in unison. Oh, we've got Morbius!
Oh yeah, that's a point.
Which will be funny because of the Morbius film with Morb.
It's Morbin time. Morbius. Omega.
Yes.
Time Lord.
We can really fill out the runtime by just listing Time Lords.
If it's a Time Lord, I'm with you all the way.
Do we have the Doctor and Yaz both in because we need a scene of like multiple characters speaking in unison. Oh, the Valiard should be on the list.
Oh, yep, yep, definitely. Because it's just references all the way. Right. Hang on a sec. They all look at each other and the Doctor smiles. And then she's got to say, "Come on then, fam, one more time." And then she flicks a switch, and the TARDIS.
I think we cut to like
cut to the TARDIS flying towards Earth.
Yeah, and then I think
Because that is how the TARDIS travels for some fucking reason.
Then I think we cut to Ace calling
EXT
Tegan.
Space. Yeah, yep. The TARDIS flies towards Earth. Jay, can you do your TARDIS noise?
In the chat. Or oh yeah, I'll do my TARDIS noise. There we go. Anyone who wasn't expecting that received a good treat. You've got to do it on the in
Yes, and
breath, not the out breath. That's how it's. That's how it's.
then it cuts.
Hmm?
And then it cuts to Ace's office. She's at that computer setup that we've seen pictures of.
Doesn't Ace call Tegan while she's outside? So I
Well, I
guess.
think it's she's got to see some sort of signature show up, and she's got to say something like, "I haven't
Oh,
seen that in
she detects.
decades."
She detects the Time Lord signature and thinks it might be the Doctor.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, she's sitting at her
and we can
computer.
we can we can know that that's what's happened because she sees exactly the same like visual display that the Doctor showed Yaz in the TARDIS.
She'll display.
By the way,
She
I
leans
already
forward.
like that we've written plot holes into this. We're already we've got loads of plot holes now because the Master has the Doctor has been on like Earth loads of times and Ace has never detected that, as far as we know. And the Master we've just established has been on Earth since 1426, but they're all just detecting him now, and I don't want that to be explained.
No, it will not be explained. I refuse to explain it. Okay. Ace is in her office. She sees the signature.
Um, she. Oh no,
The
maybe
signature.
she's having a walk and she's on her phone and she sees like she gets like a notification and it's like Time Lord Detector app. She sees like the. I think
Yeah,
she might have the display on her phone
that's just stupid enough to work. Okay, so where's she walking?
in the park or something. I guess. Hang on, I'll look at this. Look at the scene from the
I think
trailer
she's
and see
walk.
where it looks like she is.
Yeah, okay. I think she's walking past the Thames,
All right, let's go with it then.
London. Is it day or sort of evening?
It is.
No.
Um, it looks. I mean, it looks sort of overcast.
Okay, overcast. I
Wait,
like that I'm adding that.
no, she might be indoors actually.
Oh,
No,
so we're going back
no,
to the.
Tegan is outside. Ace is like unclear where she is. She's just like the background is so blurred, but all I can see is like the shape of a window, I think. So
I
she might have seen it in her office and then left her house to like go and visit the other companions. Um,
because they all have like a group.
yeah, like they have the companion WhatsApp group chat, which to be fair, as something
Okay.
existing, I'm kind of on board with.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with that as well. Okay, so Ace's office. I think she's got some sort of spacey computer app that she's looking at. Application showing because she's part of this A Charitable Earth, isn't she?
She is. I think that's actually probably where her office is that we see.
It's from A Charitable Earth. Her phone buzzes. She picks it. She looks at it. She furrows her brow. Character Ace.
And we know the
Can't
dialogue.
be.
Well, we know the dialogue that we need to force into this conversation because we've already seen it in the trailer.
Yeah. She sees a message on the WhatsApp group.
So yeah, we knew. So okay, so Ace. I
Wh-
think
Which
Ace
one?
calls
Which?
Tegan right away. I think that's the first person she reaches out to, and she says she needs to tell Tegan that she thinks that she's got like a signal, and maybe this is like the third or fourth like false alarm, because Tegan says, Ace, I've not heard from the Doctor from nearly four
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
decades,
yeah.
right? So Tegan
On
is trying to
her
convince Ace that it's probably not the Doctor.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so she sees a notification on her app. It shows a scan of Earth and a blinking signature from a Time Lord.
It's the same display as we saw in the TARDIS. That's so the audience knows
Hang
what
on,
it
so
is.
I'm changing that to. It's got to be you this time.
So what is?
Right.
Let me bring up the screen.
The Time Lord signature. It's got to be you this time. She believes it's the Doctor this time.
Oh, right. So that's something she's saying to herself under her breath.
Yes.
So then
Hang on a minute.
she steps outside, like gets her coat, calls
Her
Tegan.
under her breath. Yes. Yeah. She gets her bomber jacket with Ace on the back.
Are we cracking that out already? Because she's not been shown to
Yeah.
wear it in any of the promo pictures.
I don't
And I
care.
think if they had her in it, they would show. I think if they had her in it for like right from the start, that's what she would be wearing in the promo pictures.
I don't give a shit. It's like a montage thing of her putting on the
Oh,
old costume again.
oh, what if we see her grab it and then like ponder it and put it in the bag instead of putting it on? Like she just brings it with her in case she
Yeah,
needs it.
yeah.
I think
She
that's
pulled.
something we could see.
She then she decides not to wear it and puts it in her bag. Puts it in her bag. Right, cut to
Someone said in chat, I think Sophie said that the book she wrote last year with 13 and Ace is going to be canon in this episode. It can't be. There's no way it can
no, it can't
because Ace overtly
because
says that
because
she
of the
hasn't
line.
heard from the Doctor in nearly 4 decades, which oh no, in 3 decades, sorry, which means that not only is that not canon, that also means that Dark Universe isn't canon, and the new one, 10th Doctor's Classic Companions one, isn't canon. None of those can be canon
Talking
now.
on her phone. Okay, so Aces, I think she's walking up some stairs. Tegan.
So we got to the what's the last line we've got? Where are we at the in the script? I've just realised we could have done this on Google Docs and then we could have shared the document with each other, but it's okay.
Then the formatting would be off.
I see.
Celtex makes it. This is basically one big advert for Celtex. It makes formatting really
Fair
really
enough.
easy. Okay, so Tegan on phone says, "You said it was the Doctor last time,
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
I think it
This
can
is
just
the
be.
first."
I think it can just be like not again, Ace. I've not heard from the Doctor in nearly 4 decades. I think we lead with that.
Yeah, yeah. Ace, not again. It's the signature in a long time, and then it cuts to wherever Tegan is. And you said Tegan's outside, right?
Yeah, Tegan looks like. I mean, she's definitely outside, but again, the background is really blurry, so it's unclear where. But
Okay,
it
I
looks
think
like
she's
she's
by the
on just like a
Thames.
public street or something.
Okay, she's by the Thames, and she is by Battersea Power Station because that's a
And
reference.
she is by.
By Battersea Power Station. Are we gonna make her wear the flight attendant uniform?
Oh my god, we couldn't. I don't. We've not seen again. We've not seen her in any pictures in it. I think that Chris is gonna give her like a new job, like to show she's moved up in the world. Like she's gonna be like, I don't know, head of
Hey,
the sky. He's in charge of the sky.
no, she works for Sky.
Oh, that's. I. I mean, that is a brand and therefore not allowed on the BBC, but it is funny.
True, yes.
It's also a competing brand with the BBC.
Just because it's been only been 3 decades for me. What does that even mean? I don't know.
I actually don't know what that means. Do we need to contextualize that as something that makes sense? Because I'm not sure I can.
No, this is Chris Chibnall. It doesn't need to.
But there's gonna be like a through line in the episode where you can see how he thought it might be a thing that she would say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of random non sequiturs, advertising time. Hello everybody. Have you given money to my crowdfunder for my short film yet? No? Why don't you do that? This is the crowdfunder for my short film. The link is in the description. Thank you for listening to this advert.
I will put the link in the Twitch chat, and if you're watching this on my YouTube archive, I just went to the description of the Centenary trailer looking for it there, and I was like, why isn't it here? Um,
I like how we suddenly dropped the second that I did an advert.
I'll put it in Twitch chat.
Give Stu money. RTD once put a joke in a script about the planets of Virax. You can mention brands as long as it's funny. Okay, just because it's only been 3 decades for me, and then she gets upstairs and enters her flat, and someone surprising is there.
Maybe, okay, I think I can contextualize it.
Okay, go on.
I've forgotten. I had something and I've just lost it immediately. Okay, look, what if it's like Tegan is sort of trying to like, like problem bragging, like, oh, look at how hard my problems are. If if she's doing
I
that,
just I just sold Battersea Power Station.
okay, okay, oh, right, okay.
Oh,
So
she's got
Ace,
divorced.
Ace is like, Ace is talking about, it's probably the doctor. Um, Tegan is like, oh no, it's probably not the doctor or whatever, right? She says that in some other way, and Ace is sort of like going, oh well, well, it's just
Fuck
been.
you, ah.
Ace says, "Fuck you." Um, Ace gives a sort of,
Ace,
oh well.
Ace, we've all got lives now. You can't keep doing this.
I think that is actually dialogue that might be in there. Um,
I
and
um I have a life. I run a charity.
I have a life. Yeah, that is what she would say. Um, oh, that's how we get it in there, right? Um, we've got lives now. I've not heard from the Doctor in nearly 4 decades. Like to show how she's moved on into her like real life, and that it's been so long since she's had wacky adventures. That fits. That definitely fits. Can we put that in now?
Dance, monkey, dance.
Yes.
Okay, I'm putting it there. Right. Ace. Right, we've all got lives now. I need to fill back in that I need to fill back in. This is the first time on signature in a long time.
How many words are we up to, by the way? Because I think that we should be trying to keep this within the 90-minute time frame.
819.
Right. So I'm gonna do a word count for like the Orphan 55 transcript to see how many, because that's 45 minutes. So if I open Google Drive and just use it to, or Google Docs and use it to do a word count. How long is Orphan 50? How many words in the Orphan 55 script? Oh, we need to put a really weird, just like off-kilter thing in the script, like how Chris Chibnall describes the Sontaran as a mofo in the actual script that he wrote for
What the fuck?
Halloween.
Really?
Did you
Are
know?
you
Yeah,
kidding?
they've published the script
I
for
did not
Halloween
know that.
Apocalypse, and Chris Chibnall describes the Sontaran as, I think, a scary-looking mofo. We need to just put something, and it can't be in the dialogue. It just needs to be in the script, but it needs to be in there at some point. Right? Hang on. Tools, word count.
While you do that, I'm just going to write
I
a
don't
shit
think
back
we're
and
going to
forth.
finish this today, Stuart,
No, I don't think we are
because we
either.
need to write 14,000 words to get to the length of the special.
It doesn't need to be that long, honestly. That I think lots of it's just ad libbed. Um, Yes, and you spend the rest of your time. And who? Okay, I've put yes, and you spend the rest of your time looking for a man who couldn't care less what we're doing anymore. To emphasize the point that the Doctor stops caring about people, and that is going to be a demonstration to Yaz that her
Yes,
wanting a relationship with the Doctor is stupid.
I fully agree. But then we need to but we then also need to establish, right, that this Time Lord signature is still worth checking out because it's a Time Lord on Earth, and we then need to involve Unit. I don't know. Maybe Unit is also separately investigating the same thing. Um, but and Ace and Tegan meet Unit on the scene of this like Time Lord that they all like meet together.
Oh. Okay. I'm getting an idea. Right. So, Ace then hangs up on Tegan.
Oh yeah, Ace hangs up. So are you gonna say Ace hangs up on Tegan and goes to investigate anyway, and then Tegan knows she's
Yeah.
gonna do it, so follows her?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. So do we cut? Do we cut here and go somewhere else then?
I think that we now cut to I think that we now cut to Unit, where Kate Stewart. Are we having Osgood? Are we including Osgood as well?
Yes.
She. All right. Um,
Kate Stewart is on a computer with Os. No,
I
Osgood
think
is on a computer.
I think Osgood is like in a science lab looking at a test tube, and then like a bleep goes off, like a boop, boop, boop goes off in the background, and it shows the same display that everyone else has been seeing, with like the Time Lord
Yes.
detected.
Lab. She is wearing a lab coat. She is looking
Oh,
at an
what
anonymous
Doctor
test
is she
tube.
cosplaying?
Fifth. And a
All right,
leak in her lapel.
it's a stick of
The
celery.
computer.
Fake fan.
Oh, celery. Stick of celery. Oh, that's good. We get more lines that way. Um, starts bleeping. She looks around. She looks around. She goes over to the computer and opens. She opens it up and sees the same display
And then I think we
that
cut to
everyone else
her
is.
like walking into Kate's office,
Tell. Yeah,
where
yeah,
Kate is
yeah.
already like
Yes,
on top of things and like preparing and like um,
yes.
ready to go and check out the Time Lord.
Cut to int unit HQ.
I actually
Osgood
think that
Mark.
I actually think that the Master, having been on Earth for like hundreds of years at this point, is enough of a glaring plot hole that they might try to address it.
This is why you shouldn't disagree with me when I suggested setting it in the present day.
We could always just change it.
That's an idea. I need to go and get my laptop charger from upstairs.
All
Can you
right,
entertain the chat?
I will entertain the
The
chat.
table, the tables have turned. You've got to start reading the highway code now.
I can't read the highway code. That's your thing. I'll do something different, but hopefully
Okay, tell
just
me
as
what
good.
happens when I get back.
All right. I have to think of something now. Right. Oh, you know what? I've got it here already. I've got a perfectly good Orphan 55 transcript to read. Right. Let's just go to from the top. Tardis. Ryan, Yasmin, and the Doctor are mopping up in the console room around a long, scaly neck. It's a neck lying across the floor. Doctor, great work, guys, and sorry again, I did not know it was their mating season. Graham, yes, Graham, my son, I've got it. Doctor, got what? The sixth coupon from. Sorry, I forgot to. Graham, the sixth coupon from the Ban Dazori Herald. keeps getting delivered by the coffee machine upstairs. Or is it downstairs? Anyway, don't matter. I've noticed they had an offer on. Collect 6 coupons, get a free holiday. Ryan, I'm up for a free holiday. Where is it? Graham, a place called Tranquility. Yasmin, me too, so long as there's plenty of sun and absolutely no deep space squid. Might get you out of your Marty mood. Doctor, my mood's fine. Ryan, that's you told. Graham, putting the 6 coupons together to form a cube. Oh, sorry, Graham is putting the 6 coupons together to form a cube. Doctor, hang on, Graham. They're not 6 perfect squares, are they? No, don't put them together yet. Ryan, bit late for that. The doctor rushes over. The box starts to whine and to glow. Not my doctor, says the box. That was a bit, I added that bit. Because of the whine. Yeah, that was it. Graham, why, what's happening? Doctor, I hope you've packed. They're not just coupons, that's a teleport cube. Just activated. We've got about 4 seconds. Graham, no. I've got to go and fetch my Speedos. Horrified stares. Graham, only joking. Already got them on. Ho-ho! What a lad Graham is.
Okay, what were you doing?
I was reading the Orphan 55 transcript.
Oh, fun. I definitely
got to the bit where Graham was talking about his Speedos.
Is Benny going to make a comeback in this?
I don't think that Chris Chibnall is down with the kids enough to bring back Benny, fan favorite character.
Fan favorite character. Scripture of the Benny. Right, so where were we? So Osgood marches towards Kate Stewart's office, opens the door.
And where Kate Stewart is already like running around. There's like people. There's like soldiers running around everywhere. And Kate Stewart has got like a, or maybe it cuts to outside where like they're ready to like get in a jeep and go to like the location.
Okay, hang on.
Oh no, maybe they're trying to get like an exact fix. Because we need to decide who finds the master first. And I think, actually, my vote is on Tegan and Ace finding the master first because they both have a history with him.
Yeah, okay, I think that's who. Okay, so hang on. Osgood marches in. There are. Oh, hang on. She's about to say, Kate, have you seen? Oh, and then she realizes loads of people have already found it.
Yeah. And then
The office
Kate
is filled
saying,
with.
can you get a lock on it? We need an exact location. What if the explanation for why the master hasn't been detected until now is he just says, "Oh, my perception filter ran out."
Yeah. Yes. Kate Stewart. Can we get a lock on it? So you've seen Stewart.
Right.
He's in. Oh, what does she say? That what happens then? What does Osgood say? Something wacky.
Something wacky. Or maybe she just uses her inhaler.
And it's serious.
Or what if she says, "Could it be the doctor?" And I think maybe Unit are figuring out. No. Oh, no. There's no Artron energy signature. To the TARDIS hasn't. We're not detecting a TARDIS.
Artron energy signature.
To which Osgood suggests somewhere it could be the doctor, but they've simply. Oh my god! When Osgood sees the master, she has to say, "I still haven't forgiven you for when you killed me."
Oh no, but if it's not the Doctor, it must be.
And then, yeah, she trails off, and Kate says that's what we're worried about.
Yes. And then she takes a puff on her inhaler.
Yeah. That's perfect.
And then
Um,
we cut.
maybe we have like the unit theme play, and we see loads of troops mobilize or something. But I do think that's the end of what we get here.
Okay, transition to.
I think we now
Okay,
see.
music start.
I think we now see the Master
Okay.
waiting for people to arrive, and he's doing something
Yeah.
quirky. Um, he's just like, he's just like, he's got a glass of wine, and he's sitting in a lawn chair in, oh, it needs to be somewhere abroad so that we know that there's a budget. He's in.
Hang on. I'm still dealing with. Okay, so unit soldiers mobilize. Do they have a plane?
I'm sure they do.
Get guns and get inside a plane.
Um,
EXT plane takes off.
should we have Kate Stewart say that they're trying to get a lock on the location? We'll try to get more precise readings on the way, or something like that.
Yes.
And we can also have, yeah, I think, what is the Master doing when we cut to him? Because obviously he's like, he wants all this. Because I think that his plan involves deliberately getting captured by UNIT so that he can do something there, and then the Cybermen break him out, and that's his plan.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, and they do. And they do. The villain gets captured, but they wanted to get captured. Thing from the Dark Knight that everyone does now.
Yeah.
We'll get a more accurate reading along the way.
Cut to the Master, who is. Should we do it? Should we see what he's like doing in all of his
Okay, good idea.
all of his
Right,
trailer
unit soldiers mobilize. Get guns. Plane.
footage? There's a
Airfield.
beardless Master. I think we get long hair Master contextually first from the fact that we've now seen him.
Because he's been on Earth for years.
Yeah. And
EXT.
that's how you show that time has passed, is someone has longer hair.
Hang on a minute.
And I don't think we get
EXT.
completely fully shaved Master until
Okay.
the end.
Oh, I've got an.
Or until a
Good,
lot later.
I'm getting something. Okay, the Master is sitting in a deck chair,
Yes, perfect.
sipping
On a
sipping
cocktail
on
with a little
wine.
umbrella in it.
on a cocktail with a little umbrella in it.
And ooh, what else?
He stands up.
We do need some kind of reason for him to have been here for hundreds of years. Maybe he was setting up his elaborate plan, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever his elaborate plan is. How about him and the Cyber? How about on this beach, him and the Cybermen are converting people?
I think we introduce the Cybermen when they assault UNIT, and that he's like on his own right now. Maybe he's just.
Or maybe he.
Maybe
I think he's got to
just
kill
killing
someone
people.
in this scene.
Yeah, he's just killing people
Yeah,
to get attention.
Yeah, okay. He walks forward towards the sea, and then he starts saying,
Okay, so he's on the beach. What if someone just
And
walks
then we were-
past and
and
he just
then we-
goes, "Excuse me," and they go, "Yeah," and he goes and shoots them with his tissue compressor. And then some more people like run towards him and all that, to be like, what the hell? And then he kills them as well, and then takes a sip of his drink. This is actually. I actually kind of feel like this scene is too good for this episode. Like, I don't think I would actually redraft any of that dialogue. I think it actually just kind of works as it is. Excuse me, dead. Because like
The
he's
man.
not he's not do the thing
Hang on,
is
hang on.
right in that he's not doing anything like elaborately. He needs to do something elaborately quirky and maniacal so that we know he's
Dude,
a
I've
nutcase.
got it. I've got it.
Because in
I've
what
got.
we've
I've got.
written is him just doing what he functionally needs to do for the scene. What do you want him to do?
What I want him to do is I want him to stop that man and stop and tell him, could you just move a little bit to the left?
Yes. Yeah, and the man is like, "What? Why?" And then he just goes, "Could you just bear with me for a moment, please?" And or some, just I'll explain in just a second, but I really just need you for now to just move to the left. And then he shoots him. We've improved it. We've improved it to be more Chibnall-y. That was, yeah, there was that moment where I was like, I like this scene too much. We need to make it a bit worse. We need to add some unnecessary quirk in here.
No, the master gets the umbrella out
His
of the
drink,
cocktail
and he gives it to the
and
tiny compressed
reveals
man.
it has.
He puts it
He
in the
takes
hand
the
of the
umbrella
tiny
out.
compressed man.
Hang on.
Wait, what? Sorry, you
Hang on.
finish your
Okay.
suggestion.
My suggestion was going to be that the tiny umbrella has the tissue compressor in it.
Oh, yeah, that's good as well.
Hang on. Umbrella out of the cocktail glass and reveals it has a tiny gun on the end.
And he like presses the umbrella and it kills the guy.
He presses the umbrella and it fires a laser at the guy.
And he shrinks. And then does he say something
The man
evil once he's done that? It's like people scream and like people run over to see what's going. Someone like runs up. Someone like was like what and runs over to see what's going on, and then he says, "Everyone, calm down. There's enough of me to go around for all of you." I don't know, something like that. You'll all get your
Yeah,
turn.
the master calmly walks over to the tiny man on the floor and picks it up. The master. The perfect souvenir.
Right.
He puts the tiny man in his pocket. Everyone is still screaming. No
Yeah,
need
and
to
he
panic.
says,
There's plenty.
yeah, yeah. No need to panic. You'll all get a turn, and then he like shoots some people as they're running away.
He shoots a few more people as they're running away. Hang on, I like your idea of putting the little umbrella in its hand. Hang on a minute. He looks down at his little man.
Yeah, he walks over to like where he is and like stands him up and puts the little umbrella in his hand.
He walks back over to the deck chair. Puts the little man. He puts the little umbrella in his hand.
And we see. I think we cut to like a policeman nearby who hears all the screaming, and then who runs over. Is just to be clear, is this needs to be like abroad somewhere? This needs to be in like Italy.
Oh, we've forgotten the hang on, we've forgotten the caption.
Yeah, Italy. Or Sicily. That's nice. That's a nice place.
Caption. Sicily, present day.
And I think we have an armed policeman run up to the scene and immediately like just know what's going on and like point a weapon at the master and say, "Drop the umbrella." Hands up. And we see the master getting arrested. Or no, but then
Yes, cut to a.
I guess then Ace won't be able to meet him first. Then Unit will have to then take him off the hands of the Italian police. But I'm happy
Yeah,
with
I'd
that.
prefer. I'd prefer. How about Ace and Tegan find a different Time Lord?
Nah, we don't need more Time Lords, Stuart.
Yes, we do. We need thousands of them.
Uh,
Maybe they run into the 10th Doctor. No, the 10th Doctor's not in this. I still think 5,
he
6, and
is
7 are
probably
in.
in this. He's probably in the last 5 minutes.
I think 5, 6, and 7 are definitely going to be in it. They're going to be some sort of Matrix projection.
I think that 5, 6, and 7 are going to be retro regenerations that we see before the 13th Doctor regenerates into the 10th Doctor. That's my best guess.
Nah, it's got to be shitter.
That is a Reddit leak I saw, and I believe it.
Hang on, cut to a policeman who sees loads of people.
What about 8? I don't think 8 is going to be in this, but he might.
Each and screaming. The policeman furrows his brow.
Runs over. We see Sacha Dhawan getting cuffed.
Master who is picking up people.
Ooh,
Tiny
someone suggested
people.
a good line of dialogue for him. If he says, when people scream and start running away, don't scream. How disappointing. I think he'd say that.
Oh yeah, I agree with that actually. Stop screaming, how disappointing.
Are we going to have the fugitive Doctor in this?
Yes.
All right.
The policeman holds up at and at the master.
Because in a way, we are sort of
Character.
writing the simplest possible plot so far. And I think it's going to be anything but simple. I don't think we are going to get the most simple explanation of how these scenes could fit into place that we're currently describing.
Hang on, parenthetical halter. Tiny people. Hang on, the master shoots the policeman and he is tiny.
Oh,
And
no,
then more police arrive.
I think the master accepts getting arrested by the first policeman. Because that's what he wants. He's here to get arrested.
Yeah, true, okay. The master drops the people and holds his hands up.
And I think he should say,
Can't.
ooh, put your hands in the air like you just don't care.
Yes, the master. Ooh, put your hands in the air like you just don't care.
We need to get a
Cuts to
really,
the-
really boomer joke somewhere in here as well.
That's what we just did with that.
It's not boomery enough. It needs to be like about how phones are bad.
Police car. Could it be said by Tegan? No, that makes sense. It has to be said by a young person. Like Yaz. Okay, so cut to the master being
now
cut.
cut to the TARDIS materializing on Earth.
Yeah, because we haven't had the Doctor in a couple of scenes. Right, where does the TARDIS materialize?
Um,
Somewhere
I
stupid.
think it materializes nearby this scene. I think that's why we show it now, right? Is that the
Yeah,
Doctor, Dan, and Yaz get out just in time to see the Master being wheeled, driven. I guess wheeled is accurate. Obviously,
yeah,
put in the police car and driven away, right? And they're looking for like around a
TARDIS.
street corner, and then they have the conversation about how the Master is back.
Yeah, near the beach where the Master has returned, is being arrested. The Doctor, Yaz, and Dan exit the TARDIS. The Doctor looks up to the sky and around, gets out her sonic screwdriver and starts buzzing it.
Well, if she sees the Master getting arrested, or does she do that first and then look over to see the Master?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I think. The Doctor. He's here. I can feel him.
Are we not gonna have her confirm that it's the Master by visual contact? She already just like senses his aura.
Yeah, I think she just senses his aura.
All right.
And then Dan says something stupid. He points at her sonic screwdriver and says, "You're on that all the time. You're like my niece and her phone."
Yeah, that is. I think that kind of works. And can you entertain the chat for a moment? Because I just want to refill my water and stuff.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
Time, yeah. My niece and her phone. Because I've decided that Dan does have a niece. Because even though he's supposed to be like alone, he does have brothers and sisters allegedly. Oh, oh look, it's got three settings. Okay, hello chat. Croydon. The Master has a phone that is a tissue decompressor. Yeah, yeah, I think. Okay, so why is the Master? Why does the Master want to be fucking captured? Maybe the Master wants to be captured because he wants to get inside unit so that he can use their advanced computer systems to infect everyone's mobile phones to make everyone on the planet go tissue decompression for some to make everyone on the planet go tissue decompressions, and so the Cybermen can come and take the people and convert the tiny people into. It's hard, this, isn't it? We shouldn't make fun of Chris Chibnall. It's really hard. To think selfies could kill. Make the Master play with dolls. Yeah, we have to do that. How about in the Master is in his cell and they've given him the dolls and he's making stop motion. The Master is making stop motion videos for YouTube. There is no human race, only the mini race. I'm the Master and this is my ringtone. Oh yeah, we're gonna have this cyber heads. The weird flying cyber heads like out of Ascension of the Cybermen. Maybe we should have those as well. Okay, I'm going to read back one of the scenes that we've done so far, just because it will make me laugh, right? while I'm waiting for Jay. Okay, Micronesia, 1426. Bedroom, early morning. Gerald wakes up. It is early in the morning. He looks across at his wife, who is still asleep. He sighs lovingly. I love you, my wife. He looks down at her belly, which is big. He puts a hand to it. And you, my unborn child. I think that's a bit too silly. We've now started taking it too seriously. Gerald gets out of bed. Montage. He gets dressed. Grabs his fishing equipment. Cut to
Hello.
lake. Hello. I was just reading back our script. The first scene is fucking gibberish.
What? Do you want to change anything about it?
No, it's just making me laugh because now we've got into it, we're actually taking it seriously, kind of.
I think
Just
the
like-
first scene is textbook something that Chris would write. You got a character who's introduced and given just enough characterization so that you know to be sad when he dies.
Yeah, but he says, and you, my unborn child.
That's literally a line of dialogue that Chris wrote.
No, it is not. No, it is not, and you know. Okay, so I've been thinking about the Master when he gets locked up. I think that Unit will give him a phone because he asks for one, and he starts making a stop motion with the little miniaturized people.
What?
I want to see him playing with Dolly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
he's
Yeah.
start-
Okay, you mean like a? I thought like a phone call. I was picturing him with like a on the phone. And then
He's making a.
yeah, yeah, no.
He gets a
Aren't we still
camera
on
and he
the-
starts making a stop motion with them. I was basically just spitballing some stuff. Okay, so we're on the beach. The TARDIS materializes near the beach where the Master is being arrested. Dr.
I
Yaz and Dan
kinda-
exit the TARDIS.
I kind of prefer it if instead of sensing his aura, the Doctor says, "Oh, I've found, this is the precise coordinates where the signature was," and runs over and finds the tissue compressed people, and thereby that confirms that it was that it's the Master. And she should say the
that's a
words,
good
"It's
idea.
him," and Yaz can
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
"You
yeah,
don't mean,"
yes.
and then trail off.
Yes. Okay.
And then
the Doctor runs
Dan
over.
can at some point say, "Who's this Master fellow?"
Finds a tiny person on the ground. She picks it up and stares at it in disbelief.
Yeah, it's him. You don't mean the Master.
It's him. Yaz.
And then Yaz can say, "But how did he escape? I thought you blew him up on I thought you used the death particle on Gallifrey. No, sorry. I thought Koshamus used the death particle on Gallifrey."
Yeah, yes, explain the entire thing.
I mean, I think that would be... I don't see that not being the dialogue. I wouldn't be shocked if it was in there. Because someone in chat said, "Can Stephen Moffat's brain make an appearance?"
I can do a brain in a jar.
We can have a brain in a jar at some point.
He
We could have the Doctor see it and go, hey, how you doing, Morbius? Sorry, that was just a joke, inside joke for me.
He survived. He always survives.
Yes, and then she can say, "When I lose everything," because that's a line from the Tennant era. No, but it doesn't make sense. We wouldn't. That's not put it in.
And Dan, who's this Master bloke?
Bloke, yeah, definitely bloke.
Bloke or fella?
I think bloke over fella.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe fella. It's a toss up.
Yeah, I think it's fella. Right.
All right, yeah, let's go.
Who's
with
this
fella
Master
then.
fella? What is so the Doctor says now? He's like me but bad.
He's a Time Lord like me.
He's a Time Lord like me.
But where I'm happy to just see the universe, he needs to control it, or something like that. Hang on, let's just read the Master's TARDIS wiki. The Master TARDIS wiki. The Doctor turns to Dan and says, "The Master, known in one incarnation as Missy, short for Mistress, in another as the Lumiate, and various times by other aliases, was a renegade Time Lord. Was a renegade Time Lord, a power-hungry lover of chaos, who served as both as a friend and the arch nemesis of me, the Doctor." That's what she should say.
Okay, can you send me that in the chat on Discord right now, and I will copy and paste that into
We
the
can't
script.
actually put that in. That's not something that would appear in the script. That he wouldn't actually write that in. I mean, I've sent it to you. We could put it in as like a footnote, you know, suggestion, possible alternative line.
Okay, Control C. No, you're right. I would say he's a time lord like me, where he's happy to just see the universe. I'm happy
He
to
wants
just
to
see the
see
universe.
the universe burn.
He wants to see the universe burn.
Where I want to see the universe, he wants to see it burn. He wants to see it too, but on fire.
But what does he want?
Come.
Me.
Well, I think it would be destruction. I think she's like, he wants destruction. What if this episode has some Doctor Master ship bait in it? Should we just not? We won't put like nothing explicit because that would ruin Thasmin. But should we put some? Oh, we haven't had a proper Thasmin scene yet. Do we do that now?
No, I think because we're in the middle of like plot stuff, I think it needs to then cut to the Master.
We can have.
Oh,
like,
can we?
We can
Can
have
we?
we can have Yaz.
Please, can we cut to the Master doing a mugshot?
Yes, we can. But first, before we cut to the Master doing a mugshot, I think we need to establish that Yaz loves the Doctor again. So we need to have Yaz be like, "Doctor, are you gonna take him on? I mean, I know you will, but I don't want to lose you. He's dangerous. I don't want to lose you." Something along those lines. And then we cut to the Master doing a mugshot.
Yep, okay.
What if on his on a form we see that they've written Master, the.
Yes.
Unironically, if we ever did a scene of the Master getting arrested when we're showrunners, because obviously we will be, I would want to put that in as like just a little stupid background detail that you have to really zoom in to notice.
Sure, he smiles like a maniac. Cut to some forms being filled in. The Master writes his name as Master, the.
Oh, that's actually a good... If he's writing it, that's actually a good joke. Like, that's a genuinely good joke. If he writes his name on a form as Master, the, that's something that I could see him doing in this incarnation. That's honestly what I feel like the kind of thing that Chris is going for with the Dewan Master, but not quite managing.
We're improving this, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, let's keep that in. Let's keep that in because I think that if Chris thought of that, he would put it in.
Yes, totally. Okay, so then it cuts to like say an interview.
Uh, yeah, like, yes, yeah. So we'll have like the master do a police interview, and then unit need to show up to take the
And then they'll
master
say,
off the Italian police's hands.
mm. And then the doctor needs to talk to Kate Stewart and say, "So why is the master here? What does he want?"
Yeah, yeah. She needs to arrive at the same place that they are as well. She needs to be like
Yeah,
following him on a little master scanner. And go to. She needs to follow like to go to the police station where she sees Kate Stewart and Osgood there to pick up the master. Where we need the confrontation. Where actually, yeah, I think it should be the master. I think I could actually ironically see this line of dialogue being in there, where the master looks at Osgood and says, "Oh, hello. I haven't seen you since I killed you."
and then Oscar goes, "What?" And then he said, "Exactly."
Well, no, because Osgood knows what he's talking about. She was there. She was there.
So, are we going to do a scene of him being interrogated by the Italian police?
What does that scene achieve for the story? Because we could just have unit show up right
Who
away and drag him
cares?
away. Well, I guess do we get
Okay.
characterization for? Yeah, I guess this was where we like bait what the master's plan is, right? So like
Yeah, I
a
suppose so.
policeman
Yeah.
sits down. Is like, first of all, he's got an Italian accent, and he establishes that the master is only going to speak English to him, right? Um,
Yeah.
I think it would actually be cooler
Well,
to do the scene in it. Like, I think if they're not going to do this because it would be cooler, but to do the scene in Italian with subtitles and have the master be fluent in Italian would be kind of fun. And it would be nice to show that the master is fluent in Italian because I fully believe that he would
I am
be.
gonna I'm gonna put down this scene is spoken in Italian with subtitles.
I'm not, but that's too cool.
Who cares? Right, the scene is spoken. A policeman sits down opposite the
What if
master,
the
who
policeman
is
speaks Italian but the master replies in English? Because I think that what I'm picturing in this scene is the master like baiting what his plan is, and I think that they would
yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah,
have
yeah.
that in English so that like it can be impactful of him like saying death or whatever. I don't know what
Yeah.
Italian for death is. Hang on, let me use translate.
Right, the policeman sits opposite the master, who is playing with a doll and making it walk across the desk.
Morte,
Morte.
morte.
And he is making sounds with his mouth.
And then we got the policeman says like, so you killed 3 people on the beach. Why? Or something like that. I don't know. And then the master can say, why does anyone do anything?
Hang on, the policeman then. Master continues playing
Oh,
with
like
his.
we're definitely very much still in the like introduction phase of the episode, and we've been going for nearly 2 hours.
Jesus Christ.
I'm happy to go into
policeman
the
waits
dead
for
of
the
night, but at some point we
The
will have
policeman.
to stop, and it's probably before we'll be done.
Yeah, that's true. Smashes his hand. We can do a part two.
We
I mean,
could.
they're clearly not going to announce any more of this over the next few
What if
weeks.
they announce? What if they drop a new trailer like tomorrow, and we have to change everything because now we know
Oh,
that
that'd be a pistol, wouldn't it?
that Sally Avon is in it, and so is the Candyman. We can just have them in
Let's
flashbacks or something. That'll be fine.
let's just have them in flashbacks. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put all the fan references in a matrix projection later. So the policeman smashes his hand on the table and goes, "Why?" The master leans in and
I see.
starts whispering.
I'm seeing him sort of dismissively looking away, going, "Why does anyone do anything?"
That's what I've got. That's what I've got here. I've
Oh
got here.
right, yeah,
Okay, so
okay.
interview room. The policeman speaks in Italian. The master deliberately speaks in English. A policeman sits opposite the master, who is playing with a doll and making it walk across the desk, and he is making sounds with his mouth as it walks. Policeman: So you killed 3 people on the beach. Why? Master: Why does anyone do anything? The police waits as the master continues playing with his doll. The policeman smashes his hand on the table. Why? And I was going to
Um,
have the master
hmm?
leans in and whispers some. Oh, reference, because it makes me happy.
Is that a Spider-Man 3 reference?
No, that is a reference to the Torchwood episode Countryside,
All right.
written by Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. But I think that the reason for this is that he wants attention. We need to like foreshadow his plan. I think what we need is for him to like suggest, right? Maybe I want attention, right? And then and then the policemen say some sort of rebuttal to him, and then he says maybe I want the attention of someone in particular, and then like unit come in and say and start talking about we've got the prisoner you've got, we need to take him off your hands, and he looks at his watch and says right on cue, just so that we know it's his plan.
Yep, a unit soldier enters.
I think it's no, yeah, probably. Would it be a soldier or would it be Kate? It would be
I think it'd be a unit soldier.
particularly in the spirit of not giving Kate any lines.
Well, we've given her 2 so far, I think.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
She'll have some, but for the majority of this, she does need to be standing in the background.
The master. Ah, right on cue. And then it cuts to him being taken away past the doctor and Osgood.
Past the doctor.
No, past Osgood. Or so
I think he gets like think he gets like handcuffed and thrown into like a plane with like Osgood there, and he says, "Oh, I haven't seen you since I killed it." Maybe, I don't know. We can have that later, perhaps, because we do need before like the unit leave. We need the Doctor and Yaz and Dan to hook up with them and actually.
That's true. So I think in the police waiting room, the doctor arrives and finds Kate and Osgood there.
Maybe she's on like the outside of the police station talking to the unit soldiers,
Right.
or something. Because do we want them to reunite yet? I think they
Yeah,
need to
I think
reunite.
they should.
Yeah, they need to reunite when like they need to have like a long conversation with the master handcuffed, being all that was more Scooby Doo, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think the main setting of this needs to be in Unit HQ once they've found him. So
What?
Kate and Osgood are talking to some unit soldiers. The Doctor, Yaz, and Dan. Yaz and Dan show up following the Time Lord signature on the Doctor's sonic screwdriver.
And then we
Right,
can have we can have Osgood like perk up and notice them, I guess.
Osgood notices them.
And points them out to
No,
Kate.
wait, but
Hmm?
they haven't met. Osgood hasn't met 13 though.
I think we'll hand wave that. I think that is well, because Osgood almost certainly knows what 13 looks like, though. Because
Oh yeah, that's
like Kate has met 13, and there's probably like a picture or something.
Oh look. What does the Doctor say when she first sees Kate?
I don't know. What did she say the last time she reunited with Kate? I think she's something like, Kate Stewart, always pleased to see you. Always happy to see your face, but we've got serious business going on. It's the Master. He's back. Or I don't know.
Yes, we know. That was a great face.
That man in there, I don't know if you know, but he's the Master. And then Kate can say, "Oh, I'm worried we're giving her too many lines." Kate can say something along the lines of, um, mm,
We're well
we
ahead of you, Doctor.
well, yeah, we've um, we know based on the description of the kills, or it was the Master's tissue compression device, or something like that. However, Kate would say it when written by Chris.
Hang on, we suspect a tissue compression device. She holds up one of the tiny people.
No, sorry. We know we could. She could say like, we found his tissue compression device and hold up the umbrella.
Oh yes, the umbrella. The soldiers lead the Master out of the police station.
And what I think we can have like the Doctor say like, do you know anything else? What's he planning? How did he survive? And like angrily, how did he survive?
Yeah. Hang on a minute. All right.
Why
The
here?
Doctor.
Why now? That's the kind of way she would say it. What does he? Why is he here? Why? Yeah. What's he doing? Why here? Why now? What does he want? I've just looked at my chat and
You
noticed a
can
message
ask.
from a while ago that just says in quotes, "We are the Sicilian Police Department and we are arresting you."
You know what? I'm gonna go back through this and add that. Hang on. Where does he get arrested? Where have we put that? Uh. Hang on. Policeman in Italian.
Are we going to have Di in this, by the way? Because she
Who?
sort of has to be.
Oh
Di.
yeah. I'm Di. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't ask for racism, but...
We are the Sicilian police, and you have the right to remain silent.
That is actually a line I could see. And we are arresting you is a bit too silly, but we are the Sicilian police. You have the right to remain silent. I could actually see that in there.
Yeah, definitely. Same with the Sicilian police. What does he want? Okay, so back to this scene. Do you know anything else? Why is he here? What does he want? I think Kate then says, "You can ask him if you like."
Yeah.
And then then the soul.
And they're packing him like onto the plane, and the Doctor gets on with him.
Yeah. They walk him past Osgood, and he says, "Last time I saw you, I killed you."
Is there just a plane outside this police station?
Yes.
Or maybe they load him onto like a helicopter that's like landed in the street.
Yeah, they load
like
him on.
like a big military
Yeah,
helicopter that's landed in the street, like a helicarrier or something.
a big
Helicarrier,
military
is that the right word?
helicopter.
I'm just like a troop carrier helicopter, that kind of thing. One of them was the four
Landed.
blades.
Hang on. Oh, so I need to change it to a helicopter from a plane in that scene earlier.
No, just leave it as a continuity error.
No, because it has to make sense. Also, the helicopter takes off. Set to the tune of Budgie the Little Helicopter, which is a show from my childhood. I've just put that there because fuck it. Right. So... Right, they lead him away to a big military helicopter that's been landed in the street. And the Doctor follows Kate and Osgood and some sold.
Someone in chat just suggested, and I think it really, really fits, that Di is killed by the Master, and as the Master does it, he makes a pun about how she's called Di. So she's like, I'm Di, and
100%.
he says, "Is it who you are, or is it what you're doing?" And shoots her.
Hang on, right, just fucking.
I would unironically love it if that was in there.
Die.
I kind of feel like
Is
again,
that
this is the Dewan Master as like Chibnall wants him to be rather than how he is.
is that what you're doing? I'm just leaving that in my notes because I know we're probably not gonna we're probably gonna end soon. But is that your name or what you're doing? Just if we do a part two for this. Die. Jazz hands. Right, okay. The doctor, yeah, has to follow Osgood to the helicopter. Is there a little scene in the helicopter? Or do they just cut and then they're back in the UK?
I think the last thing we see is sorry, I'm dying. I think the last thing we see is the Doctor and the Master making eye contact in the helicopter, and then we cut to. I think we need to see Tegan and Ace again.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a while in helicopter.
I think we need to remember that they exist. I think they need to be like. I think they need to be meeting up, and I think maybe there are other companions there as well that they've roped into this.
The orange. Oh yes, I think so as well. The orange sun, rays of the sun.
But actually, no, can there be? Because like, if there is another companion there, it needs to be someone who's not going to go with them to Unit, because we've seen loads of pictures in Unit, and I don't believe that if there's another character in all those scenes from Classic Who that they wouldn't have shown them to us yet. I mean, any other companion who's in it is going to be in it in a different capacity and won't be in the Unit scenes.
Right. Okay. So now that we're back in the UK, it will be okay, some sort of community centre for Doctor Who companions.
Wouldn't it be great if we posted this script when we were done with it to Reddit and claimed it was a leak?
We're doing that. I insist on us doing that. Right, so
I
at the
wonder if we could
community
get
centre.
Faris to cover it as if it were a leak. It's a shame that April Fools is so far gone.
All right, well, since we're probably not going to finish this tonight, how about we get to a point where we've got like 20 pages of it, say leaked the first 20 pages of the Power of the Doctor.
I don't know. Maybe we can just let's see how far we get tonight, and then make up our minds, I guess, with what we do. Because if you put the file online anywhere, then someone will do that for us. Now that we've said it, like that's just a matter of time. I don't know if what I'm saying violates like Reddit TOS or anything. So check that first, and if it does, don't do it. But
Or just do it. I don't care.
I guess we're not encouraging you to do it because that might be a violation of some
I am.
websites' TOS.
No, I am. Do
Fair
it.
enough.
Whether
I do not condone-
whether it violates their terms of service or not.
Stuart, you're gonna get banned from Reddit. What will you do?
I don't have a Reddit account.
Oh, well, they won't let you make one. You'll type in your details and they'll say, "You Stuart." No, not allowed.
I don't want one.
Right. Okay. Where are we in the story? What's the last thing that we've written to the script? I say we. You're
The
doing
Doctor and
typing,
Master
aren't you?
look at each other in the helicopter
Oh.
broodingly.
There are a lot of good suggestions in your chat, actually.
Oh,
Nissa
okay, read
could
them.
have a cameo, like showing like with
She's on Zoom from Terminus in the future.
Well, Nissa and Tegan are canonically an item since RTD's Farewell Sarah Jane.
Are they? Oh, okay.
That's my understanding. I've not actually watched that. I should. Um, but yeah, so we've got to like I think we need to shoehorn it in there somewhere that like Tegan is living with Nyssa. Although to be fair, this would be the first time that Chibnall was like actually respecting extended media as canon.
Okay, so Ace has gathered all the Doctor Who companions
No, I
who are
can't.
still
That can't
alive.
happen yet because then they would go to unit as well with Ace and Tegan.
Oh yeah, that's a point. Yeah. Okay, so where are we going then? What are Ace and Tegan doing?
I think Ace and Tegan are tracking the Time Lord signature and noticing that it's they've tracked it down to Sicily and they're noticing that it's rapidly moving, so that
Okay, Tegan and Ace.
that it's rapidly moving towards the UK, and Ace then knows. Oh, I know exactly where they'll be going to Unit HQ, and she just figures that out, I guess. And she can just like say something vague, like I read the leaks. Um, I don't know.
Okay, so then Ace and Tegan go to unit, and that's where they meet the Doctor.
Yes. I think yeah, but they're not. Um, they need to meet the Doctor. Yeah, they need to meet the Doctor when she's arrived at HQ, right? Where right now we need them to sort of like, I think we need to sort of get them in like a car on their way to London. Um, which is probably where they were already actually. Um,
Well, yeah, but London's a big place, and they're driving across London.
yeah, all right. They can start driving across London, and we can pretend that drive takes about the same amount of time as a helicopter ride from Sicily.
Maybe do they get stopped somewhere in London?
I
They
think
see something happening in London.
maybe. The thought I had in my mind is that this would be a great place to put a Chibnall brand emotions scene, like where they
Yeah, that's
a
a
how are
point.
you
Yeah.
feeling scene. And I think we need to have one of those for like we address how. Oh my god, do you think Chibnall is going to write a canon ending for Ace and Seven? Because we
Yeah,
actually,
probably.
I don't think that's actually. I don't know if that's been covered. I've not heard a big finish that covers their departure from one another. Um, but yeah,
Can't
what? So
remember.
they can talk about like how when the Doctor left them because we can pretend this isn't a conversation they've
Yeah.
definitely already had.
Yeah. There.
Or we can make it painfully obvious that this is a conversation that they've already had in explicit dialogue. We can make it be like,
Is in the.
oh, we've talked about this 100 times, Ace. I think that's more in fitting with the writing style that we've come to expect.
Yeah. What are you going to say if it's him?
Well, that's good though. That's actually pretty good. I think that's actually like that's a good line. That's a good question. So we need a shit answer. And if it's a what did you say if it's him? What will you say if it's him? Obviously, that's that's going to be something that we need to keep in mind for when they actually meet, right? Maybe because I'm thinking in terms of an actual like if I wanted to write this and I wanted to make it interesting, right? I'd have them have the conversation. What will you do? What will you say? What will you do if it's the Doctor, right? And have them say one thing, and then when they actually meet the Doctor, have them say a potentially different thing that shows the difference between what they anticipated feeling and what they're actually feeling upon the reunion.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Now,
So at
but
this point,
however, wait,
Ace does some sort of
can
dialogue.
I need to finish this
Ace
thought,
does some
Stuart.
sort of monologue.
I need to
Okay.
finish
Okay.
this
Go on.
thought. That would be good, right? Like that would be what will you say when you meet him versus what they actually do say when they meet her, being different to show a difference in headspace, right? What if the point? What will you say? It's what will you say when you if it is him, and then when they meet, she says it the thing that she said she would say word for word, like as a quirky joke.
That's interesting. But what could you say that's? I think that's too. I think that involves too much thought.
But we're thinking about how to make it bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Yeah, but we're thinking about how to make it bad in too much detail. We're doing too much detail in how to make it bad.
Right. So I think then that we need to have what will you say if it's him? I'm not sure that can be the line. What do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with this? What were you going to say before I
I mean,
instructed you to shut up?
what I was, what I was going to say was, Ace does some long monologue, in which she expresses her emotions and says, "I'll ask, why did you abandon me? Why did you just leave me to continue on Earth and just get on with my life, etc." And then when she meets the Doctor again, finally, all of that just vanishes because it's like, oh my God, it's the Doctor, and it's like, I think you're
That's
great.
we could do that. What
It's
do you think?
shit,
What, how
yes,
do you think
but the
they'll
point is
depart?
shit.
How do you think how do you think Chris will write it that Ace? What terms do you think he will write it that they departed on previously?
Well, I mean, because what we've got here is that I don't think that's going to be addressed.
There's gonna have to be some element
Well,
of it like that. It's gonna.
well, I mean, because what we've got here is that Ace is the Doctor obsessive who's been looking for the Doctor for years and years and years, who's like really hung up on the Doctor, and then meets the Doctor again. It's like, oh my God, yeah, you're amazing. It's so good to
What
see you
will
again. And then at the end of the episode, they just depart from each other again, and she finally accepts it and moves on with her life.
All right. We'll try
That
that.
would make sense.
We can try that. We can just make it very hollow. I think that is something that they might do.
Yes, I mean the point is hollow and emotionally manipulative. Like
Yeah.
it's like a Hallmark card. It's like a greetings card. Unless, hmm, chat. What do you think? Ace just says you owe me a tenner.
Actually, that kind of does work as like playful banter.
Yeah, that does actually. So she delivers this sort of heartfelt monologue, and then when they meet in the end, she just says, "You still owe me a tenner from that time that we played the arcades in somewhere or other."
What if Chris just like goes completely off the wall with it? What if he's like, what if Ace is just like, Doctor, I haven't seen you since our wedding.
Yeah, fuck it. That's going.
We know that. You know what I think we're definitely gonna get right is I actually put money on this being in the episode as an interaction. Ace calls the Doctor Professor, and then Yaz goes Professor, and then the Doctor explains to Yaz why Ace calls her Professor, which actually isn't
Oh
something
yeah,
I
we
know
definitely.
because I have basically no memory of Dragonfire.
Uh, for good reason, it's shit. Okay, so given where we are right now, I'm just gonna make up some shit. Okay, I suppose I'll ask why.
Well, yeah, okay. So
Why
what can
did you
this?
abandon?
So think we need to consider what the arcs that he'll want to put these characters on will be, and then write a scene that's supposed to set up where they are at the start of those arcs. So if Ace is this like Doctor obsessive now who learns to accept that she's gone, then we can have We can have like Ace. Yeah, so Tegan can say sort of what will you say if it's him, and Ace can sort of. What if Ace just sort of introduces like is just really excited going on about when I see the Doctor I'll say this this and this and I don't know. What if the
I don't
Doctor?
know
What
because
if
I
Ace says,
think
"Oh, what do you think? Do you think he will have regenerated again? What do you think he looks like now?" I bet he's got a. I've got. I bet he's got. I bet he's wearing a new wacky outfit and he's
yeah,
all.
yeah, true. Actually, um, yeah, because I've been taking this too seriously, haven't I? Going what?
I'm
Because
enjoying taking this seriously.
that's quite a poetic line. That is. What are you going to say if it's him?
Yeah, like I actually really like that as a line, and I don't want it in this. I can only have it in this if it's going. If it's followed up by something shit, like. Do you think they're going to do like the
Yeah, because
Yaz the thing they? Do you think they're going to do the thing with Yaz that they did with Rose, where Yaz is going to get jealous and about of all the Doctor's previous companions?
yeah, that's what I think. That's where I think it's going.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
That
that
is
like
legit.
several times, and I feel bad that I forgot and asked that.
That is legitimately where I think this is going.
All right, we can take it there.
Right. I suppose I'll ask why. Why did you abandon me? Why did you leave me to just carry on with my life as if none of this ever happened?
Oh, are we having what will you say if it's him then? I thought you didn't.
What? Sorry.
Are we having what will you say if it's him then?
Yeah, I want it in there because I like it a lot.
All right, we can have it. But I think
Okay.
I think we should I think that then we should have Ace just be excited to see the Doctor again rather than have any resentment about being left behind. I
Yeah,
think
because this has to be shit. You're right. I'm gonna take it out. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna put what are you gonna
this is our
say if it's him,
first
and then
proper
she's just excited.
roadblock, isn't it?
Yeah, this is our first proper robot. I think okay. I'm just gonna put what are you gonna say if it's him, and then she's just excited.
What if we just leave it here? What if we just have square brackets emotional conversation and then we get back to it?
You know what? I'm going with that.
And
Emotional conversation. Because I'm pretty sure that's what Chris does. Right. So where do we go
oh,
now?
I've got it! I've got it! Actually think I've got it. What if we just have like Tegan, them sitting in the car together, and Tegan says sort of, Ace, you're gonna need to get back to your life eventually. I think that's kind of on the money for where we're going.
Yeah.
Because that's also the end of the arc as we've suggested it.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Hang on. Right, so you need to get back to your life eventually.
And
How about we suggest? How about we infer a bit of backstory for Ace in here as the reason why she's obsessed with the Doctor
well, we could have
because her life's shit.
the maybe I guess but she likes her life as been presented in the DVD box set
In the,
trailers.
well, that's true, but the context that we came up with for the 3-4 decades line implies that she doesn't.
I mean, I think that she likes her life, but she likes the idea of life with the Doctor more, and it's
Yeah, that's
clouded
true.
her vision of how good her actual life is. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
so we could have like, hang on, I've forgotten what the last line we just put in there is.
Ace, you're gonna need to get back to your life eventually.
Right. So we could have. What if Ace sort of says, well, if we travel with if you travel, well, if it's the Doctor, we can be gone for as long as we want and then be back in time for whatever. Not if it is the Doctor. If it's the Doctor, we can go on as many adventures as we want and still be back
Yeah,
in time to, and still be back, and no one will, and we can be back on the same day or whatever. I can't think of a fun way to phrase that, but you know.
Well, it's supposed to be shit, isn't
Ah!
it? So
Ignore me bumping my knee into my desk.
be back on the same day.
Out of curiosity, how long is it now?
What?
Out of curiosity,
14 pages.
Ooh, that's a lot of pages. And I'm basically able to go for the rest of the night, by the way. So just let me know when you want to stop. I guess I might get tired
Okay.
soon, but I'm not feeling tired yet. So
Okay, we can go for another hour or so.
all right.
Okay, not if it's the Doctor. If it's the Doctor, we can go on as many adventures as we want and be back on the same day.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure that's exactly how he would phrase it, but I'm sort of happy that that's sort of the general vibe of what needs to be there.
That is the general rule of what needs to be here. Maybe Tegan implies that she's done with it.
And or what if we have well, because Tegan is done with it, and I think Chris would have to be really silly to not present Tegan from the start as being unwilling to go
Jaden
back to the
Pinnacle.
life. You know, because the
Yeah.
whole reason she left, it stopped being fun, Doctor.
Yeah, it
I'm
stopped being fun. Yeah.
traumatized now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Maybe she's still traumatized.
Um,
Ooh. This is. If it was good, Tegan sighs and looks out the window. Oh, as the streak flashes past, we hear echoes of lines from Resurrection of the Daleks.
that could be that. It could be something they do.
I mostly wanted that in there because of the I can't stand this confusion in my mind.
I love that line so much.
Yeah,
I've got to work it into a video at some point.
including I can't stand the confusion in my mind. And a Dalek shooting a gun. And someone screaming. Right.
What if we have original? What if we have Dalek dialogue from the episode, but redone by Nicholas Briggs for no apparent reason?
Yeah. Yes. Dalek dialogue from Resurrection. Redone by Nicholas Briggs. Okay, so that's
The man
implying
who
that
will not
Tegan
rest
still.
until he is the voice of every Dalek ever. Are you writing that in?
No, I can't stand the confusion in my mind and Dalek dialogue from Resurrection of the Daleks. Resurrection done by Nicholas Briggs.
Right.
Do they see something in London on the way to the unit, and that's what stops them from
Does Tegan
getting
have
there?
Does Tegan have a reply to? Yeah, actually, I think this is probably where they probably need to stumble on one of the episode's other plot points at some point, right? We need to introduce everything at the same time, or it won't be messy enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But we do also need them to get everyone's sort of en route for unit now, and we do need to get them to unit in time for the Doctor's arrival at unit HQ.
That is true. Another shitty reference.
Can we have the? We could always move the flashback dialogue, right?
Which flashback dialogue?
The dialogue from Resurrection of the Daleks. Because I think Tegan might want to respond to Ace's.
That is true. Yes. Hang on a minute. Right. Okay. Tegan. Okay. What does Tegan say then?
What if we have that at the start of the scene? Is like is Tegan flashing back to Resurrection of the Daleks, and then Ace snaps her out of it.
Yeah, I suppose. Tegan is in the passenger seat. Hang on. Tegan sighs and looks out the window as the street flashes past. Yeah, she sighs and then looks across to Ace. Ace.
Oh,
what are you gonna
we
say
can't
here?
forget to make Tegan angry.
Yeah, that's true. Mouth on legs. I think most of that happens when she gets to unit. Because here she's just sort of like dragging her feet, isn't she?
Yeah.
Not if it's Doctor. If it's Doctor, we can go on as many adventures as we want and be back on the same day.
Right. So I guess like what if it's not Ace? We'll just be dragged into another adventure with a. We'll just be dragged into some other business because of some false alarm, something along those lines. And what if it's not? What if it's another false alarm? Do you want to get dragged into who knows what again?
Hey.
Can Tegan be wearing a cork hat for this scene?
A what hat? Sorry.
You know, one of those hats with corks tied to the rim.
Why?
Because she's Australian.
That's true, and with the Sicilian people, we want to get as many stereotypes in as possible.
I'm not really aware of any Sicilian stereotypes, to be honest.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I suppose. But what if it's not Ace? What if it's another false alarm? Do you want to get dragged into who knows what again? What does Ace say then?
But what if it is?
And then she looks in the back and sees I've got my baseball bat.
Yeah. She looks in like her tote bag or whatever and sees her jacket and her baseball bat that she definitely has.
But what if it is? Okay, so I need to swap who's driving and who isn't. Hang on, Tegan is driving.
Oh, we can do it like in Remembrance.
Ace is in the passenger seat. Yeah, we can.
We can
can't
we can just have Ace be an irresponsible driver and glance down at her bag while she's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. Z there. Because obviously she's still a big kid.
Yeah.
She looks
Oh, we need to get Wicked in there somewhere, of course. Oh, obviously she says Wicked as soon as she sees the Doctor.
Yes, and sees.
Actually, again, that's one that I'm pretty sure will probably be as it happens in the episode. Probably she's gonna say Wicked when she sees 13
on the back seat.
It'll either
wait,
be...
you're a woman now. Wait, you're a woman now, Doctor. Wicked.
That it could be it as well. It's either going to be you're the Doctor, or it's going to be you're the Doctor and you're a woman. Wicked, right? That's going to be.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the line. You're the Doctor and you're a woman. Wicked.
You're the Doctor.
No, you're
Wicked.
You're the Professor and you're a woman. Wicked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wicked. Just making notes for later. How did Bella and Linda show up?
It's a really good fucking question. I mean, obviously we've got to take this to sci-fi locations. It can't be an entirely Earth-based story. I think on Earth we're just getting the Cybermen breaking the Master out of Unit HQ. We also at some point need to decide what he wants in Unit HQ.
Does he want to kill Kate Stewart?
What if he breaks out and then gets something that he needs from the Black Archive?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so she looks in the rearview mirror and sees the thing on the back seat. Right, cut to. Right, where are we going now? The Master is locked in a prison cell, right?
Yeah. The Master is locked. Is let's put him in a straitjacket on a plane. And on the helicopter rather, and the Doctor is sitting opposite him. And shall we just pretend they've been sitting in silence for the whole time during the previous? No, we need to end the scene, the Ace and Tegan scene, not with it just cutting away, but with them being distracted by something.
Oh yeah, true. Okay.
or it won't be a real emotional scene.
Okay. So she sees the baseball bat sticking out the back seat, and then
Well, it
she
needs to
sees
be
something
something.
out on the street. What does she see?
It needs to be something external. It needs to be like. What if it's like? What if it's like
Hmm.
the? What if it's the like the Time Lord detector thing beeping, and she says something like, "They're
She
on their way. I
sees
know
on the
exactly where they're
street
going."
there is a man being intimidated by two large men by a black van.
All right. What's going to be in the black van?
Hang on a minute.
Oh,
Hold on.
what if they discover the
Ace slows
Cyberman threat
down.
first, and then they go to warn it to Yoon them to Yoon them?
Right.
Did I say go to warn it to Yoon them?
Right. Streets.
So
Day. Ace parks up. What?
have I lost you? You just sounded. Have I lost connection to you, Stuart? Hello. Has my internet just died? My stream seems to be fine. Oh,
You
you're
will
back.
come.
Hello. I can hear you again.
Hello, bigger man with a robot voice. Okay, so what I've got is Ace sees a disturbance. A man is being pushed into the back of a van by two bigger men with robot voices.
Right. Yeah, and
Who
so are we going to
are
have Ace and Tegan
part?
discover the Cyberman threat first, and then go to Unit to warn them?
Yes,
Right, that makes sense to me.
that's
Um,
that's what I'm saying. Okay, so the bigger man says you will come with us, and then Ace comes up. Ace grabs her baseball bat because Ace hit a Dalek with a baseball bat, and here she's hitting a cyber person with a baseball bat.
yeah.
Back seats
Apparently your stream
and
crashed. That would make sense. Your
oh, did it?
internet, yeah, your internet must have gone out for a wee while, because yeah,
Oh,
your stream has
fuck.
ended.
No. Well, that did pretty well for what it was.
How do you want to? Do you want to start it off again, or do you want to? What do you want to do? It's up
Uh,
to you.
um, shall I just put it? Shall I just do a new one and put it as a part two?
Fair enough. Yeah. If you start up fast enough, it will count it as the same stream.
Oh, will it? Hang on a minute. How do I do that?
Just start streaming again, and it won't. And it will be like, oh, you must have lost connection, and it will put you back into the. It will patch it together.
You'd think so, but no. It just says connect to streaming software to go live.
I mean that's what YouTube does generally. If you reattach to YouTube very quickly,
Hang on. Do I click stop streaming then?
um, you
Because it
can,
says
but
I'm
I don't
still
think it makes a
streaming.
difference. Just just go live again and see if it counts it as the same one or not.
Okay, because as far as I can tell, it's not.
But the
No,
worst
it's
comes
not
to the
doing
worst
it.
is it'll just be part two.
Fuck. No, it stopped it. Damn. That's annoying. I'm just going to call it part two.
Fair enough.
Part two. Right, no, it's not made for kids. Entertainment, create broadcast.
I want to read some messages from the chat. Someone has said smog. That's what it says.
Right, start streaming. Smog.
we need to have the master kill die and say, is that who you are, or is it what you're doing?
Hang on. Fucking. Right, am I streaming? Oh, fuck. Is it.
According to your YouTube channel, you are not streaming. I'll just put on some royalty-free music for the stream. No, actually, I won't. I'll put on some.
Oh,
music
it says I'm streaming. It says I'm streaming again now.
Oh,
I think we're back up and running.
Yes, you are.
I think. Hooray! We're back up and running.
Right. What's the
For
last
fuck's
thing
sake,
that
my
happened?
internet. Right. What is the last thing that happened? Someone just put in the chat. It was the flux. We'll just wait a sec for people to
Sure.
rejoin us. So,
Well, I mean,
how's your day
read,
going?
Like, the previous page to give like a reminderment.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. You play Tegan and I will play Ace.
Right. I need to get your stream up so I can see the page. Right. It's not up for me yet. The page. I will let
Okay,
you
just
know
wait a moment.
when it is.
Okay, while I'm waiting, why not give money to my short film crowdfunder people? It's a short film that I've written. It's called Got Your Nose, and it's about a kid who believes that he doesn't have a nose. And it's a serious dramatic study of this character who has a psychosomatic disorder where he looks in the mirror and he sees that he doesn't have a nose.
Also, donate to my crowdfunding campaign, the goal of which is to make this episode with the original cast. As we're writing it, we will get Jodie Whittaker. She will perform the lines that we have written. That's the goal.
That is definitely the goal. I'm going to spam my crowdfunder
I will
thing
put
in the chat
in the link of my chat
and put
too.
give Stu money.
The problem with that though, Stuart, is that you have taken now the script off the screen and put the crowdfunding link on instead.
Well, that's what I want money. Give me money.
No, I've put a link to your stream in the chat. Oh well.
Okay, hang on a minute.
That's close enough.
Okay, well I'm back. Okay, I'm back on the script. Has it appeared yet?
Not yet. I'll let you know when it does. We're good podcast hosts, Stuart. We can fill like 20 seconds of dead air.
Okay. How are you?
What's your favorite thing to fill jars with?
Pickles.
Oh, that's a great jar filler. All right, the script is on the screen.
Okay. Ace is driving. Oh my god, Barry's driving. How can that be? I did a reference to the Clerks cartoon from years ago. Okay, so you're Tegan, I'm Ace. Okay. Car. Ace is driving. Tegan is in the passenger seat. Tegan sighs and looks out the window as the street flashes past. We hear echoes of lines from Resurrection of the Daleks, including I can't stand the confusion in my mind, and Dalek dialogue from Resurrection, redone by Nicholas Briggs. She sighs and looks across at Ace.
I can't see the next line. You've not scrolled to it yet on my screen. Do you want to just do both the parts?
No, this has to be. It's a dramatic reading.
Can I attempt an Australian accent? Probably
yes.
not.
Go for it.
Yeah. What are you going to say if it's him?
Okay, this entire project is worth it just for that attempt at an Australian accent. I don't know.
Ace. Ace, you're gonna need to get back to your life eventually. She's Scottish now, I've decided.
Scottish. Not if it's the Doctor. If it's the Doctor, we can go on as many adventures as we want and be back on the same day.
But what if it's not, Ace? What if it's another false alarm? Do you want to get dragged into who knows what again?
But what if it is? She looks in the rearview mirror and sees her baseball bat sticking out of her bag on the back seat. She then sees on the street there is a man being intimidated by two large men by a black van. Hold on. Ace slows down.
I think we need Tegan to start replying to Ace, but then Ace cuts
Okay.
her off with like the look out there, that guy, he's in
Oh yeah,
trouble.
yeah. You're right. Okay, Tegan. Ace, were all those adventures really that good?
Can we just cut her off at really? That sounds like an insult to the McCoyer. Or like, were those adventures really that good? I've seen Dragonfire, Ace.
Ace holds up a hand.
Oh, should we get like a Heathrow reference in there?
For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I have just written, really, I've seen Dragonfire Ace. Okay, I'm removing that line. Ace holds up a hand and silences her when she sees on the street there is a man being intimidated by two large men by a black van. Ace, hold on. I think something's happening. Right, Ace slows down. Ace parks up while there's commotion going on by the van. Man goes, "Get off me!" Bigger man in a robot voice. "You will come with us."
Oh,
Ace grabs her baseball bat from the back seat and runs.
is this Sidemen recruiting more soldiers then?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's what I've decided it is.
How the fuck is a Shard getting here?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? You know what? We can have him have been summoned by the same thing. We can have him be like caught up in the Master's Time Ring stream and be pulled to the present day with him via his time ring. Also,
Yeah, that's what happened in the opening scene.
also, I kind of feel like we do just need the Master to have arrived at the present day if that's going to be the case.
Yes, I think so as well.
As committed as I was to have him arrive in 1462, it needs to be like 2021. Or just like unspecified date, but you know, probably now because it's unspecified.
I've put 2019 because in that time he's grown his hair out.
Oh, true.
Right, Ace grabs a baseball bat from the back seat and runs over to the commotion.
Right. She needs to ask what's going on. She needs to know what's happening before she. I think she needs to ask what's happening before she jumps into action, but maybe Chris doesn't think that. Does Chris
I
think
don't
that she
think
needs
Chris.
to ask what's happening before beating a man in the face with a baseball bat?
No, Chris does not think that.
She needs to yell like, "Get off him!"
No, I think she needs to. I think she needs to say, "Hey, what's going on?" While it is obvious that these people are pushing him into the back of a van.
Right.
No, wait. No. Oh, no. Hang on. Tegan runs to join her as the big men are pushing
Big man.
the smaller one into the back of the van.
I'm just laughing because I'm picturing like in the credits, like two people credited as Big Man 1, Big Man 2.
Yeah. Tegan, they're pushing him into the back of the van.
Yes. Yeah, we need to get some of those lines in there.
Yeah, because it's necessary. Because it's like, look, there's a thing that we can see happening on the screen.
Absolutely.
Okay, they're pushing into the back of the van.
And I think that one's absolutely fair as well. I don't think that's like parody levels. I think that is something they would really write. Parody
Okay.
would be like, I'm walking across a room to get something that I need to do. No, that's something. This is just something they'd write.
The big one of the big men gets into the driver's seat. The
Can I
other
get a
big
word
man
count, by the
spots
way?
what?
Can I get a word count? I want to compare it to Orphan 55.
Okay.
Oh, I've just seen that you've written them as big man and bigger man.
Man sees Ace. He sees her baseball bat.
Thank you for saving me. My name's Jerome. Can this character be the blind man from my 13th Doctor era parody?
Sure, why not? Oh, hang on. The smaller man is blind.
I don't know, maybe
Where
maybe
there is a
I'm
small
not sure. I
blind
don't want to
man.
drag him into this, you know? Maybe he's had his story told. I don't know, maybe I got ahead of myself asking for that.
I've just put small blind man. We see him for like 2 seconds.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay.
What if
He's,
what if he gets like killed by one of the big men in the struggle? And like the ace Ace hits one of them with a baseball bat, and the other one gets out like a weapon, like a sci-fi weapon, and aims at Ace. But like the guy, I'm gonna say sees what's going on and gets in the way, and like blocks the weapon from hitting Ace, and then she's able to hit which means he can't be blind. But yeah, he stops Ace from being killed by this robot man.
the big man approaches Ace. She
So this is so
swings.
we don't have to deal with him existing for the rest of the story, just to be clear.
The other man goes into the back of the van and brings out a big weapon.
I'm wondering, in terms of runtime, how long what we've written would be on screen. I genuinely am not sure. Like, it's really hard to
About
gauge.
15 minutes. About 15 minutes, but the rule is about a page a minute.
All right. So,
Okay.
if
So they-
if we get to 20 pages today, it will take us what, like 5 parts to finish this.
fighting each other. The big man and Ace are still fighting each other. The other big man is about to shoot Ace when the little man, small man, because the little man is the tissue decompression ones, jumps for the big man and tries to wrestle it off her, the gun off him. Right, small man. Leave her alone.
Someone in chat, the first time chat said it'll be really interesting to see how they end Jodie's stay as the Doctor. They really need some good writers for the send-off because the rest of her seasons feel like it was written by interns. I have bad news for you, buddy. It's the same person who wrote most of the worst ones.
I think this man needs to stay alive. I think they need to leave this scene with someone.
I'm not sure, because then we'd need to just have him around for like the rest of the unit scenes, or maybe even the rest of the story.
No, we don't. No, we don't. I think the Cybermen are doing something in London with people.
Right, yeah, but like, why does this guy need to be alive for that to?
Because what else are we gonna do?
Well, he dies,
How do we?
and then
How
Tegan
do
and
how do
Ace
how
like,
do we get?
Tegan and Ace like investigate the van, or like the corpses of the two robot men they killed, and discover like some kind of evidence that suggests what the Cybermen are, or that it's the Cybermen and that they're like massing for an attack on unit.
Okay, right.
Or they find
Okay.
something that leads them somewhere where they can find, like, let's say they find what they find the destination on they find like a sat nav programmed with a destination or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 All right. The big man shoots the small man.
Or
He
like a
dies.
map with a circled location on it. I think that's actually more in keeping with the kind of thing that they would do. A map with
Okay.
a location circled.
Okay. So does Ace kill these two cyber people with her baseball bat then?
Yeah, I think they've just been killed. I think they're dead.
Okay. Ace smacks the big man with the baseball bat, and he dies.
Oh, someone just suggested that Tegan at some point reference Adric's death, and I think that's a very good suggestion.
I've just had a thought.
Go on.
Once Ace has killed the two big men, Tegan looks down at their bodies and goes, "It's just like Adric." No, she looks at the small man's body and says he looks just like Adric.
We need her to acknowledge Adric because like the Cybermen are around, and that's how Adric died.
That's right. Ace smacks. She fights the other one, and he.
I think at some point Ace and Tegan need to look into each other's eyes and in unison say Cybermen. That needs to be in here. That needs to happen.
And then holds him down while Ace hits him with the baseball bat. Because I think Tegan needs to help because she's like, violent.
True.
There's the makes a robotic croaking noise as he dies. We see static electricity from his head.
And then sparks come out.
Tegan.
Jesus, this is still going. Yeah, we're going to be going for a while, I imagine. Well, maybe not today, but we will probably spend some more time on this, I imagine.
Yeah, Tegan, what on earth? They look to the back of the van.
It sounds like someone in the background of your area is just like gently chainsawing something or like gently farting. One of those two.
That is my cat snoring.
Oh,
She is an infamously loud snorer.
I didn't think that was going to be a cute explanation for the noise.
Do you want me to go get her? I can go get her.
Well, she's asleep. Don't bother her. But I guess cats.
No.
No, cats don't mind really, do they?
No, not really.
I was treating her like a human being, being woken up to being brought on stream.
Her snores do sound like farts a lot. I know that. Will that cause more people to watch this? Will that cause people to donate to my fucking short film
Donate to Short
crowdfunder?
Film Fund to see cat, guys.
Do that. Somebody go on my crowdfund now. Give me some money, and I will go wake my cat up. Somebody do that. Spamming in chat. Okay, somebody do that, and then I'll show the cat. Once someone has done that, once I've got a notification on my phone, then I'll go get the kitty. Right, okay, they look at the back of the van. Tegan approaches the dead body of the small man. And she says it's Adric. She starts crying. Tears come to her eyes, and she's...
I think she needs to only reference Adric once she's established that it's Cybermen.
Okay.
And it needs to be in like a designated emotion scene.
Yeah, it needs to be, yeah.
I think there'll be like one... We need like one scene at least between Tegan and the Doctor and one scene between Ace and the Doctor. And in the Tegan one, she needs to mention Adric. That's when it needs to happen.
Okay, so she doesn't look down at the body of the small man and go, "It's just like Adric again."
She thinks it. We know that she thinks it. That's canon. That's what she's thinking?
Yeah. She does a thinky face.
Thoughts of Adric fill her mind.
Thoughts? Right. Okay, so Ace and Tegan explore the back of the van and find some sort of cyber equipment.
Or are we doing cyber equipment, or are we doing a map with a circled location?
Someone just put in the chat. Someone just put in the chat. How are you feeling, Tegan?
Or
Adric is dead.
we can't. I'm thinking maybe we can't have them find out too much, because then the tone of the unit scenes will take on like a more. If they know that there's a Cyberman attack being planned on unit, then the thingy will. Ace and Tegan will have have to have a sense of urgency in the unit scenes. You would imagine, so that they can't find out that there's an attack being planned, but they can stumble onto some information. So what can they find in the back of the van?
They find a map that's got they find a they find a map. Oh, because we were doing the whole phone thing, right?
Right.
So we find a map. They find a map in the back of the van that's got several things circled, and then Tegan goes, "But what is at these circled things?" And then we find out that they're 5G towers.
Could they be?
Okay,
I mean,
because we got to fold in.
What we got to fold in?
I was just going to say because we got to fold in some wanky like real world commentary shit, haven't we?
No, they haven't done that for a while. They didn't. They've not done that since series 12. And they never do it in the finales either. I don't think that's going to be here. And if it is, it's going to be like throwaway lines, not like an element of the story.
True, but we were talking about like boomer jokes though.
Yeah, I mean, but a boomer joke is also just a throwaway line.
Yeah, true. Okay, so they explore the back of the van and they find they find a map that has been circled in seemingly random locations.
What if they find like, I don't know, because like if there are locations circled, you would assume that like going to them later is going to be something that progresses the story.
You would assume, but no.
Well, we could have like the Doctor find one of these locations and find like a teleporter, which is how we get the Doctor to the ship, which we know is in the story, the ship that's lit all in blue, with Cybermen on it. And those can be the actual Cyber Masters, because I think it's just basic Cybermen that attack.
Because okay, so these sorts of half-converted cybery people are taking people across from London to these locations
to be converted,
so that they can teleport them to the ship, so that they can be converted.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Or what if the teleporter is just in the back of the van? What if that's where... I think that simplifies things in a way that's actually good for us. Like, obviously it's going to be an overly complex story, but that actually... That streamlines things, right? If
yeah, true.
we don't have another location to go to, it can just be we need to go back to this van.
Okay, so they find a strange device with lots of blue lights all over it. Okay, Ace and Tegan explore the back of the van and find a strange device with lots of blue lights all over it.
Yeah.
So what do they do then? They just sort of look at each other and go, "Huh? What is this?"
I think we need to establish that they're going to unit next, right? That's...
Yeah.
They need to hurry on their way to unit.
Yeah. We
What if
should
they?
take
What if
this to
they?
unit.
What if?
Yeah, they take this to unit.
Yeah, they take it. They take. What if? Well, what they drive the van to unit, like the whole van, not just the device. They just drive the van.
Yeah, yeah. Ace looks at the up at the driver's seat and sees the key is left. The key has been left in it.
Because I mean, that actually makes sense. It would be like, where else would it be? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly. Cut to Ace driving the van away.
And then
Tegan looks nervous.
now we have our scene between the master and the doctor in the plane.
Hang on. Ace is happy to be driving a big heavy vehicle,
Like in
and
Remembrance of the
she
Daleks.
said, and she says,
Wicked?
"What? Ace."
Oh, yes. Definitely. Definitely. Proper job.
Yeah, because
Oh, fuck! Someone in chat just pointed out that we need Graham and Ryan to be in this.
oh god, no, we don't.
They're in it! We know they're in it!
Are they?
Yeah, there's behind the scenes photos. I mean, Bradley Walsh is definitely in it. There's a scene between him and Dan. I don't think Toasting Cole has been seen on set. Maybe he wasn't available, but it would be weird to have one of them, not the other, story-wise. So maybe like, maybe it's just Bradley Walsh in it, but I assume they probably wanted both of them.
I think they just couldn't be bothered to ask Toast and Cole.
Why?
We suggested that in one of our previous streams. Apparently he's now in something called House Party.
You know what we haven't done enough of? We haven't made Tegan's motivations clear enough. At one point, I think we need to go back.
Does she have to have motivation?
I think what we need to do is we need to go back and have at some point Ace point out that she doesn't want to meet the Doctor again because she's tired of it all, or something along those lines. Because you're tired of these adventures, like something like that, right? Just because you're.
Hang. Yeah, I'll put that in here somewhere. Well, she says that here, but Ace, were all those adventures really that good? That's what she said.
I'm not sure that's how it would be phrased.
All right, how would she phrase it then?
Well, I think the way it would be written into the story is Ace outlining her motivation for her. I think it would be just because Ace would say something along the lines of just because you've been turned off adventuring doesn't mean I have to be, or something like that.
That's literally what I'm writing.
Fair enough. I wonder if we could if we did convince some people that this was a leak, I wonder if you'd have some Jodie fans trying to argue that it is actually very good. I wonder if that would happen, because there's actually a chance, right? Like if this went down as a leak, if this whole script leaked, I'm sure there would be people defending it as actually very good.
No one is going to believe that because we've publicly stated that it's not. We've been spending the last 3 hours doing.
That is the main issue.
That is the main issue.
Not everyone in the world knows that this is happening. There are going to be some people in blissful ignorance who could be convinced.
No, I think you're seriously reaching there.
No, I don't think it's actually going to happen either, but it would be funny.
Someone just put in the chat, Graham and Ryan need to kiss.
Do you think I think the first time we see Graham and Ryan again, just to remember, we need to have Ryan call Graham Grandad. That needs to be like their first scene together.
How do you see super chats?
You can go into it's either in you, there's like a if you click viewer activity in your like stream thing on YouTube, then it will show up there. Or you can go on to YouTube, like create a dashboard, monetization, and then there's a category for them in there. It also super chats, and that'll list all of them that you've ever got, or at least I think.
Oh right, because I've just got one that says super chats above me. Because it says chat revenue. Oh, here is money. You show your cat. Oh, someone did send me some money. So okay, I've got to go and get the cat now.
All right, I will put your stream on my stream, I guess, or I'll just
Okay,
I
hang
don't know,
on a
I'll link
sec.
to your stream.
Kitty cat.
I hear cat sounds.
Hello.
I can hear a cat. I cannot yet see a cat. In fact, on the stream
She'll show up in a
from my
minute.
end, you've not left yet. There you go.
Hang on. Hello. Can you see her now?
Not yet. I'm very excited though.
Okay. Well, she's now on my table. She's now behind.
Here she comes.
My
I see
laptop.
her. She's adorable.
Her name is Cleo.
She's just having a good look at your setup. She's very interested in your microphone.
Yeah, she's now gone over to the litter box. I can
Good.
show you all her shit as well if you want.
You should put a donation goal to see the cat's poo.
Okay, someone give me a tenner and you'll see. Okay, she's gone away from the litter tray, so now you won't see her poo.
Damn.
Apologies. Okay, so cut to Ace driving the van away. Okay, shall we say the next scene and then we end it for the night?
Sure. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with what we've got as well.
It's made me laugh.
I wouldn't be shocked if we have literally every word for word is what they make. I would just go,
Yeah.
that may. No, I mean, I'm joking, of course, but I wouldn't be shocked at
Okay.
all if what they've actually written is broadly equivalent to this.
Yeah. My favorite line is the guy holding the cyber head and it starts going we're here and he goes I don't know what you mean. Okay, so this scene, so Ace and Tegan are now driving to unit. So is this the doctor and the master, and the master's in a straitjacket?
Yeah.
Are they in a helicopter or are they at unit?
I think they're still in the helicopter on their way.
Okay, in helicopter. The master is in a straitjacket. The doctor is sitting opposite the master and looking at him broodingly.
Yes, absolutely. And I think he should start with, well, aren't you going to say anything? Or are you just going to seethe?
Are you just going to Steve?
I said seethe. Actually, I think he might actually say something along the lines of, or are you just going to brood? That's actually, I think, quite a character line for him.
Yeah, I think so as well. What do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, no, because she
Hmm? Sorry?
No, but she said what he wants is destruction, isn't it? So she knows what he wants.
Yeah, but that's entirely the kind of incongruity. Actually, I've struggled with that word before. That's exactly the kind of incongruity that would be in a tribunal script.
That is true, yes.
That's that's on the level of, it is the kind of thing that a person might say, but it feels a bit incongruent with planned out dialogue. Exactly the same as like, I love a conspiracy versus I don't like conspiracies, like happening 2 episodes apart. But
Yeah.
she's not she's those lines are technically both fine. Like, they don't actually contradict each other, even though literally they do, because she's speaking in like a different sense each time. And one, she's saying that she's excited to investigate the conspiracy, and the other, she's saying that she's sort of against the conspiracy existing itself, right? The same motivation exists behind both of those lines. They're not actually a contradiction within character. It's just sort of funny to point them out.
Okay, so what I've got here. Well, aren't you going to say anything, or are you just going to brood? What do you want? What do I always want? What's your plan? You show up on a beach somewhere and start tissue decompressing people at random. You knew it would get my
I think she
attention.
would say killing instead of tissue compressing.
I mean, I was just going to say that just because she talks in complete technobabble.
She does, but
Start killing people.
I think the she would want to say killing as more of like a she'd want the moral punch of that word, I think.
Okay, and you start killing people at random. You knew it would get my attention. You knew you'd get captured, and there must be a reason why.
I don't think. Should we have? I like most of it. I'm not sure if we should be onto like the. You must have known you would get captured, right? I think we should see her work out in real time, unless you wanted to get captured. You know,
Yeah.
That feels very authentic to what they would write. We also at some point need to justify the title The Power of the Doctor.
No, we don't. It's just a thing.
That's a good point, actually. There's no revolution in Revolution of the Daleks, and there's no battle in Battle of Ranskorev Kolos. You're right, we don't need to justify the title.
I was going to say, where's the battle in Ranskorev Kolos? Right, so I've just got him playing with the Doctor a bit. What's your plan? You start showing up on the beach somewhere and start killing people. Maybe I just wanted to kill some people. Maybe they were annoying me. British tourists are very annoying.
Yeah, he would say that.
Yeah.
I think he would elaborate as well. I think you not elaborate, but just sort of say it more. Just sort of say like they just sort of get under your skin, don't they? Is Yaz and Dan in the room, or is this just? Because if Yaz and Dan aren't in the room, I think we should have a scene between them and like Osgood or someone. What if it's just?
How about in another
you know what I think?
another room of this helicopter that they're in?
Well, it's like a troop carrier helicopter. I couldn't believe it has like a, or they're on like a different transport or something. You know what I think it might be? I think it might be just a short joke of Dan like turning to a soldier and trying to make conversation, and the soldier doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like, so how'd you get into all this being a soldier like? And the soldier is silent.
Yes, totally. Hang on a minute. I can't see. I'm just going to put this in there because fuck it. It's another room. Helicopter room. Dan is sat next to a soldier who is wearing dark glasses and has a stony face.
I would laugh so hard if we've actually predicted anything here. I really want something to be close. I have no idea what it might be, but like, I would just be so happy if one thing we've written is close to what happens in the episode.
Yaz and Osgood are talking. Oh, because we can't leave that scene with the Doctor and the Master there, can we?
No, we need more of it. What do I think? I don't know. Sorry, what's the last line of dialogue in that scene that we have?
Maybe I just wanted to kill some people. Maybe they were annoying me. British people are very annoying. They just sort of get under your skin, don't they?
Right. I think this might be. Maybe this is the scene where she works out that he wants to get captured, or maybe not. I think actually maybe that needs to happen in Unit HQ. That needs to be right before.
Yeah, I
That
think
needs to
that
be
needs
right
to
before the
happen.
Cybermen attack.
Yeah, that does.
Um,
And then they steal a thing from the Black Archive, and then they get to the ship where they've been.
also, I think we
We're
need to.
thinking about this way too
I need
much.
to. I think we need to put the line in earlier where he says. Well, I think he needs to just like be walked past Osgood when he's being taken in by Unit, and I think he needs to look at her and say, "Oh, hello. I haven't seen you since I killed you."
I've put that in earlier.
Oh, is that in there already? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's in there already. Yeah.
Um, right. Okay. What do we? Okay. What's? How can we just? It's definitely filler that we're writing now. I guess we could set something up though. I get. You know.
No,
What,
it's
you know what I
definitely.
think he might say something along the lines of, "Oh, I've got big plans, big plans," and then she might say, "What?" And he say, "Oh, say something like, wouldn't you like to know?" And then he can
Not
say
good.
something like, "But you just might find your past catching up with you."
Yeah. Oh yes, yes. What's your plan?
And that line works no matter what we write into the rest of the story because no matter what it is, it's going to be classic Q references because there's no way it won't be.
Continues and
Someone
continues
someone has written
glowering
so many
at
messages in
him.
chat being like, "Don't forget, she needs to die. She needs to die in this story. She needs to regenerate. She needs to make remember that. She needs to die." What if he just
Yeah, we know
shoots her in
that.
the face now? I think
Okay,
that what
so
he gets,
it's
I think that what he needs from the Black Archive is the thing that makes her retro regenerate into previous Doctors, and that's what he shoots her in the face with in the orange spacesuit.
yeah, I agree with that entirely. Um, Another helicopter room. Dan is sat next to the soldier who's wearing dark glasses and has a study face. So, how'd you get into being a soldier? Like, soldier's silent, pretends he hasn't heard. That is the sort of shit that's going to happen.
I think before the scene ends, though, we need to address where the Master and the Doctor left off on Gallifrey. We need them to talk about that.
They won't. You know they won't.
I think they might. I think they just won't. They'll just do it hollowly, and they won't really address anything. They'll mention like they'll like pay lip service to the timeless child twist. Do you not think they'll pay lip service to the timeless child?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do think that. I was just looking at super chats. Ace should grab a Cyberman blaster, say, "I will save this for later," and never use it. The battle was the
Wouldn't it be
friends we made along the way.
wouldn't it be brilliantly dumb if we had her grab a Cyberman blaster, say, "I'll save this for later," and then when we see her using it, it's in a flashback to like years previously.
You know what? I'm gonna put that in there. Thoughts of Adric fill her mind. Um, Ace picks up the gun, puts it in her pocket. I'll just save this for later. Right.
I think she might phrase it differently. I think it might be something like, "This could come in handy."
Yeah, yes, you would say that. This could come in handy. Can you believe we've put, according to Celtex, we've spent 1 hour 38:49 writing and 1 hour 30:30 thinking.
I believe that.
Yeah, we've put more thinking time into this than you would have expected.
Yeah.
Um,
I think a 50-50
and
thinking writing ratio is actually pretty low, to be honest.
Another helicopter room. Dan is sat next to a soldier who's wearing a stony face. So Yaz and Osgood are talking. Okay, we'll just do this Yaz and Osgood conversation and then we'll be done for the evening. Okay,
Sure.
so what are Yaz and Osgood talking about? It's a stop the episode feelings thing, right?
Is it? I mean, like, I'm not sure we would even show their conversation. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It might not, like, it might not even just be something that the episode is concerned with.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so we definitely want the scene of Dan next to the soldier, though.
Yeah, that's absolutely in there.
Yeah. Okay, should we leave it for the evening then?
Yeah, I guess, like, we can do this again if we want, and we can write the unit HQ at Cyberman attack scene that we know is coming next, and then see how far we get. I wonder if I
Okay.
wonder if we'll finish this
Before it gets broadcast.
or after. Maybe we'll come back to this in 10 years and just give it a little finish.
And just be like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's. Do you want to do like super chats before we go, or?
Okay, let's do that. The Master should say, the power of the Doctor, you're about as powerful as a burnt out android.
I could see him delivering that line. I
Yeah,
could.
I could totally see him doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got, the battle was the friends we made along the way. I'm pretty sure that's what the battle in the Battle of Round Square of Colours was. Ace should grab a Sideman blaster, say, I'll save this for later, and never use it. Yeah, we've done that.
That's in the.
Super chat's above me.
This story
Thank you.
is pay to win.
And then Banacafalata appears for some reason. Yeah, should we put Banacafalata in it?
I mean, I wouldn't be totally against it.
Yeah, all
We'll
right.
have to see
A-
where he fits in. Thing is,
Ace
I'm
then
actually
says,
taking this too seriously now. I want to write things I actually think they would write. Like, I want us to get to the end of this and have an entirely feasible Power of the Doctor script.
which we kind of do so far, I think.
I think we
Ace
do.
then said,
I think we
Ace
really
then
do.
says to, Ace then says to Tegan, how sad.
Like, maybe.
Reference to Caves of Androzani there.
Fair enough. Maybe some of the memes that we put in here wouldn't be in it. And I genuinely think one of the most out of character parts of, like, one of the most unfitting things that we've got in here are the genuinely funny jokes that we kept in because we actually thought they were good.
Yeah, the line where Tegan goes, they're shoving people into the back of the van. That is something they would definitely
That's
do.
absolutely something that they would do. I can't wait to hear what the line is that they actually write into the episode.
Because there's going to be something which is like, look, here's the thing that we can see
I
on
mean,
the
Tegan will
screen.
probably have one. There's going to be multiple lines of "Hit, look, here's the thing that we can see," and there's probably going to be enough that like most of the characters will get one, right? Most of the characters, at least with a big speaking role.
Edward Bedore writes, randomly cut to Donna taking a nap.
Just to establish that she's going to be back soon.
And then cut to every... I definitely think ending it with like some big retro regeneration fest is definitely how they're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think that might even be in the middle. I think we might get like retro regenerations, and then the 13th Doctor comes back for most of the time, but like there's still retro regenerations happening, and then she regenerates into Tennant at the end. I
The
don't think she's.
Doctor,
I don't
I'm
think she's regenerating into
regenerating.
Shooty. I think she's regenerating into Tennant.
Yeah, I think that as well. The Doctor, I'm regenerating.
To be fair, that is a genuine line of dialogue from an RTD script. That's in Journey's End. Oh, sorry, no, it's
Oh
not. It's in The
yeah,
Stolen Earth.
that is true, isn't it?
But it does sort of make sense in context. It's too late. I'm regenerating, as in I'm already regenerating. It can't be stopped. There is information he's conveying. It's not just hey, look at what you can literally see. Although you can pretty much literally see it. But like, if he just said I think it's reasonable for him to say it's too late. And if he just said it's too late, it would feel like weird. It would feel like an incomplete sentence. So I guess I'm okay with it. But I don't know. It could be better. I think that scene. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you heard what?
Hang on, where do I?
Hmm?
Sorry, where do I see super chats from the previous stream, the one that ended?
Oh, go into your YouTube dashboard. Um,
Yes.
go to. You probably want to do this off stream. I don't know if you're happy with people like seeing all of your analytics and everything or not.
Oh,
If
I've covered my screen now.
So go to monetization.
Monetization.
And then go to supers. It's at the top in the menu at the top.
Oh, supers. Oh, they're good. Yes. Okay. See all. Have I done all of them?
Yeah.
I think I might have done. Oh, we got Jacksendo 2000 says, thank you both for being so entertaining.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. That's a lovely one.
And X2 Spooky for Me says, the question shouldn't be about what they could be doing on wacky planets, but when they could be doing on wacky planets.
I was really expecting that to have Wallace and Gromit mentioned, but then there was no Wallace and Gromit. Have you moved on from Wallace and Gromit, Spooky? Is that what's happened?
Okay, shall we end for the evening then?
I think that makes sense.
I think that makes sense as well. We've been going for a long time.
We've been
Anyway.
going for 3.5 hours.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, 2.5 hours and one on my end. Because my internet is shit. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. And before I go, I have to say it again because crowdfunding. Look, here is the thing that I'm raising money for. The link to it is in the chat.
It's in my
Go,
chat too.
go,
And it's
go,
also in the description of the YouTube re-upload.
and yeah, and go give it money. Give Stu hashtag give Stu money. I want to make a short film about this crazy topic that I've come up with.
Yeah.
I'm raising awareness for people with psychosomatic disorders.
I bet you wish you had a nose, you little fucker. Right, put that dialogue in the film, please.
No, because it's a serious Oscar bait drama thing. That's what that's the point of the joke. The joke is it's a really stupid premise, but it's played as a serious Oscar bait drama.
I fully appreciate that goal. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You need to use that hand to...